Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you for coming in to season 2, episode 2 of Edge of Legend. Last week was a very fun week, but I think today we have to address the amazing elephant in the room and do our introductions, starting with Mr.
I
Tobias.
can't believe
Please.
you called me fat by calling me the elephant,
I
man.
No,
Oh my
literally
god,
thought
he
no, how
opens
dare
it up,
you?
he fucking ruins the introduction.
You know
It's
what,
fine.
baby
Hey,
boo?
PJ,
No, baby
no, it's
boo.
okay.
No, don't you
I
do this
got
to
it
me,
from here.
boo. No, this is you're okay. First of all, boo, I love you. This is this
Honey
is
bear?
mine. Please, I love you. Okay. And you know what? You can be both a little heavy and extremely sexy. So how dare you conflate those as two different things? I love you. Now tell us who you are and who you're friggin' playing and what your pronouns are, you gorgeous bastard.
Hello, I'm Tobias McCurry. I'll be playing Tobias Raphaelis, uh, because that's hilarious. Wherein PJ decided that he had a pre-established NPC that he wrote 12 years ago, but happens to be 90% actually me. And that's not going to be a problem, I swear, and it's not going to have any issues with my psyche. My pronouns are he and his, and I'm very excited to play today because I've wanted to play with this group for a very long time.
Oh yeah, we've been definitely wanting to get you on stream for a while, so hopefully we get to share this a bit more. But that being said, let's do some more introductions, starting with Kylie. Kylie, please tell us
Oh,
who you are, who you're playing, and what your pronouns are.
I'm never first or second, I guess. Hi, I'm Kylie, or I go by Kai. It really doesn't matter at this point. I am playing Shionabis, the Elven Ranger, and we both go by she, her.
Heck yeah, I love that. That was awesome. Next up, we have Sam. Sam, please tell us who you are, who you're playing, and what your pronouns are.
Well, hello, I'm Sam. I play Ichipatan Papaqui, also known as La Pacifica Dorita, and our pronouns are she, her.
Awesome. Mr. Michael Powell, please tell us who you are, who you're playing, and what your pronouns are.
Well, as always, I am the dastardly dashing Michael Powell, and I play the ever fabulous Rufa, human investigator. And yeah.
Excellent. Well, last and certainly not least, we have Sidney, the queen of the recap. Please tell us who you are, who you're playing, and which pronouns are.
Hello. My name is Sidney Rubino. I'm the queen of the recap. I love that. What? Okay, cool. Yes, and I play Alona, the half-elf cloistered cleric, and our pronouns are she, her.
Awesome. Well, my name is PJ Megaw. I am the GM for Nat 20 Productions and Edge of Legend. My pronouns are he, him, and I'll be playing everyone, everything in between. Now, quick little recap for those that didn't get to see the recap or was not here last week. So, the last episode of Edge of Legend, Season 2, Episode 1, Tobias Raffaello started sending out invitations to all the heroes of the world who helped save the world from a massive war, the Green War, as the orcs tried to battle everything. And having saved the world together, they were brought back to have a party that they were truly worthy of. After 6 months of this vacation, they were brought to one of their favorite cities on the Adolfon continent, Agrippa upon a Bear. Once there, they had a raging week of partying. Well, maybe, except on the third day, it was cut short, as Asim Ra, who just came back from 200 years dead, or really struggling to get out of the nine hells, has come back. And it appears, maybe I'm wrong, there's a slight reconnection happening between Asim Ra and his on again, off again girlfriend, fiance, love interest, one Shionabus. And on the third day, as they were talking about where Asim Ra has been and what his life has been like, he drops to the ground in a gruesome pain, his skin starting to recede from bone as horns and horrible claws and terrible teeth break from his frame with a torturous pain. And that's where we left off with episode 1. Now, we are going to cut back right back to that moment with Alona, with Shionabis, with Asim Ra on the ground, a horrible mess. And remind me, was Tobias Raphael summoned or was he off somewhere else?
I'm gonna summon him now.
All right. So, with that being said, we're going to start off the scene as Asim Ra is laying against one of the walls of the the walkway he's in, the city walkway, and he's just shivering. Now, seemingly fully whole, but bleeding in parts where the damage was the worst. And he just looks shivering. My name is Asim. My name is Asim.
I am going to, because I have a feeling I would have blocked Alona, like bit in between Alona and Asubara, or whoever he is. I'm gonna like look back at Alona and then squeeze her hand and take a very slow, small steps towards him. I don't even know what to say right now. Garrett, what's going on?
I don't know. We started talking about Ra, and then I felt confused, and then I got a headache behind the eyes, and with that pain came confusion, and then I felt like I was being torn in two places at once. I don't know.
I'm going to kneel down next to him, and I assume I'm probably like wearing like a shawl, some kind of like covering for my dress, and I'm going to take that off and then kind of like ball it up a little and just like dab any of the blood like from his either forehead or wherever he's bleeding, because at this point it's probably a lot.
All right. Are you looking to heal him, or you just want to have a tender moment while he's in shock?
Either. I'm hoping Alona will do something.
Oh,
like...
I'm just waiting for the moment. Just waiting for the moment. Is now the moment? Alona looks at
just like
Alona's gonna pop in and do a medicine check, and then after that immediately a religion check.
All right.
If that's okay.
Of course, go right ahead. Make the medicine check.
That's great. Almost a nat 20. So this medicine check, Alona's on high ass alert because she just watched her best friend's boyfriend turn into a demon right in front of their eyes. So that's disconcerting to say the least. That's a 33.
Out of curiosity, what is your proficiency with medicine? Are you trained or an expert?
I am an expert.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's critical. So roll for me 4d8 plus 10. That's how much you're healing from Awesome Ra.
Whoa! I sure will do that. All right, 4d8 plus 10. Where are you? Wow, okay. That's 31.
31. Yeah, in minutes you are able to stitch the wound, clean it, give it the proper setting and dressing, so that when it does heal very quickly, it'll be like you never see a single scar. He was quickly injured, and in this moment quickly healed. You did say you summoned Tobias Raphaelis, correct?
Yeah. When I saw that a demon was breaking from my best friend's boyfriend, not boyfriend's skin, I called for backup.
Okay. Cool. So while you're making that religion check, Tobias, you hear Alona call for backup. You kind of see Morel kind of turn his head like a groundhog and just kind of start booking it in that direction.
When I was called, Morel moved?
Well, yes, when there was a call for backup, Morel was definitely
it a call
responding.
for backup, or was it a call from me?
Actually, great clarification. Was it a call for Tobias or a call for backup?
It was a call for Tobias, but
Fair
if
enough.
Alona calls for Tobias, it's not out of character for Morel to.
Oh, no,
answer as well.
100%. But
Yeah.
that makes a very big difference in my reaction.
Yes.
I'll look up at Morel. What's his immediate response as I begin to move that way?
As he's already mid-run, you look up at him, he sees you, he kind of and just keeps running.
No. As he begins to, like, I'm keeping a very brisk pace. I'm not booking it, but it seems urgent, so I'm moving. And I'll look up and go, I don't know if that was your call, old dog.
Listen, little puppy, it may not be my call. If they relieve me when I'm there, then they relieve me.
They called for me, not a dog without new tricks. I'll see you there. and then I will book it.
You little puppy dog.
I will book it before he says that.
So he's whispering something, he's mumbling, and you just take off like Sonic the Hedgehog. All right, so you finally arrive on the scene. Morel's kind of on the horizon, staggering in. Ilona, what was that religion check?
That was a 29.
All right. What do you want to get specifically from this roll?
Okay. If it's possible to basically scan his body to see if he to see if he's divine, like devil divine, or if he's like monstrous. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Scanning the body, you find, obviously, once all the healing is done, he seems to be very well intact, physically still quite elven. When you look into his eyes, this is when something happens. In this world, when you are a cleric of a certain level or a champion, you get your eyes because you are literally a vessel for your deity. And so as such, your soul, and that being your eyes, reflect their presence in you. Looking in his eyes, you see what looks like the kind of corona of the sun. But deep within the iris, you see the symbol of Ravan, the two chains with the crown shackled inward.
Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, okay. So I'm able basically to discern that, like, yes, at first glance, he has the eyes of Ra, meaning that he's masquerading as a follower of Ra, but deep down under that, I can see that he's actually a follower of Ravan. He's a champion of Ravan. Oh my God. Okay, cool. I'm not going to say that just yet. I'm going to wait till Tobias and Morel get there.
Okay. And they do about this time.
You called.
Yes, Tobias. Hi. So Alona's gonna start whispering in a little hushed tone. Hi. So we have a bit of an issue here. Well, to describe it most succinctly, Awesome Ra is a devil worshiper, and has just had his skin split from his body and had horns come out of his head. So I wanted to call you because I don't know what to do.
He'll clearly. This is the scene in front of him that was described. Yes. Cool. He'll kind of look to the scene and not really give much outward emotion, and then turn back and go, well, what is it that you believe you would like to do in this circumstance? Because I have my solutions, but that is not important.
Well, we definitely want to keep him alive, if that's what you were alluding to.
Was this by choice, or was this by contract?
We don't know. He seemed like he was fighting something when...
Then what's he doing now? He looks to the horned, clearly fucked up individual.
The horns at this point have receded and the healing has been done, but you can tell from your years as a triage, he's in shock. He's in some sort of exhausted, not quite lethal, but shock.
I believe that your conclusions are something we should speak with him about. He's not irredeemable.
Right. Should I do that once he's calmed down, or should I do that
not believe that attempting any form of social negotiation with a creature that has just undergone some form of trauma would be in a cognizant mind.
You know, you're right. I think I read that in my book about therapy.
I honestly believe that I would have read that in my book of common sense, but you're beautiful enough to have known that.
Oh, there it is.
0 point.
And Alona just now looks to Morel and she said, well, Morel, would you be willing to help him get to a quieter place instead of the middle of this gathering? How many people saw this, PJ?
Give me a perception check.
Oh, crap.
Ooh, can I make one as well on that?
Absolutely.
That is a 22.
Cool. What was yours, Kylie?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
That good? Okay. All right. So looking around, you see the party has been going on in full bravado. It wasn't until you kind of had these two big, heavily armored paladins running over to the event, well, a paladin and a redeemer running to the event, that people started, paying attention. By this point, they see a man on the ground looking quite tired and everyone being concerned. And you get the vibe that they go, oh, can't hold his liquor. Well, it has been 3 days of drinking and partying. You're not wrong. And they're all seeing you, but right now they're all assuming this has just been someone who's been getting a little too deep in the cups.
I will say too that, and I believe, PJ, correct me if I'm wrong, before, like, while this stuff was happening, I think previously I was having like a shrimp cocktail eating competition with Tobias, and then I beat him pretty bad.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, that is
okay. I just
true.
wanted to make sure that happened. Okay. And Ichi probably will come over after all of this as well. And she'll probably like elbow Rufa and be like, want to see what's going on?
You're muted, Mike. There you go.
I'm gonna guess that Rufa just got back from his investigation on the Green King. Goes oh yes, perhaps we should investigate.
Yeah, it's a ruckus. Let's go see what's happening. And I'll go out there and just kind of like walk up to Alona. Does he need coffee?
What kind of coffee?
Oh, I mean, does he need the kind that'll make him less drunk? Is that
Not the
what's
bat poop
happening
version,
here?
not the bat poop one. No.
Not the bat.
I think he's well sobered up by this point. Maybe water would be a great idea. Water. Thank you.
I will do that.
Thanks. Hey, Rufa.
Yes.
Ilona kind of briefs him on the situation, and whenever Ichi gets back, she's going to brief her as well. But basically, we should get him somewhere safe, away from all of these people. And once he's calmed down, we need to have a nice long chat.
Question: does Alona use the demon word or devil word or anything like that? The situation?
Yes.
Oh, okay then. Rufa's going to, as soon as the word demon, devil, or whichever is mentioned, Rufa's eyes go wide and yes, we should probably take him somewhere. What is there's not so many people around, and perhaps the barn where the, do we still have our wagon?
You don't have a wagon at this point. Remember, you came in from prison. You
No,
don't have a wagon.
I mean, does Alona or any of the one of the other party members brought the wagon?
No, they had to all come
okay.
in from different continents, so they just took a boat. There's no, but you do know this. You do know, as earlier in last episode, the people at Typing Pint were very kind to open up their facilities for you at any point in the evening, especially if you need to like sleep off a drink or two. So if you want to, you can easily just, kind of drunk buddy human crutch your boy over to the Typing Pint.
But is there anybody in the the Typing Pint?
I mean, probably, but there's a bunch of rooms on the second floor.
Okay. Do we want to bring him where there's other people in, which is collateral damage, or a empty barn?
I don't think he's a threat right now.
Okay.
Ichi would have probably just come back and said, you want to take Shionibus's boyfriend to an empty barn?
I don't believe that there would ever be collateral damage while we were present.
Why would we damage the barn? What?
We
Well,
wouldn't go on, Rufa.
considering on a track record,
I understand our track record, but perhaps, maybe, if you would be a professional, we wouldn't have so many problems.
now look here, intern.
I'm only the intern if I can't bring out results.
Mm, well,
And
alright,
according to our track record,
So everyone, he's a little salty because I beat him at shrimp cocktail.
It's true.
Carousel is what I call it. I gave
you
it a name.
did in fact best me in such a venture.
So I feel like he's a little salty right now.
Mm.
But no one's really answered my question. So we're going to take Shionibus's drunk boyfriend to a barn and we're gonna burn it down.
No.
Is
Oh,
that-
okay. Ichi. So this is what had happened was, that Awesome Raw might not be the person that we thought he was.
Did he hurt you, Shionibus? Did he say something?
I'm not
Did he
with
say
you
something
guys.
about your dress?
I'm not with
Shio-
you guys. I'm completely ignoring you all.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I'll say that to Alona. Did he was he looking at other girls or what? Like,
No. He might have turned into like a demon for a hot second.
what?
Yeah. It's not great. So we're going to take him to a nice, comfy place. And we're going to she looks at Morel. Would you be willing to stay with him and watch over him while we
Yeah.
figure out what to do?
Of course, yeah. And I'll make sure he if anything changes again, I'll make sure to shout really loud for a priest. No, that's obvious. I'll just shout your name really loud. How about that?
That would probably be ideal.
Good.
Uh,
Good.
Out of character, PJ question. Typically in the Edge of Legend world, are demons, devils considered universally evil or anything like that?
Depends on the demon and devil. Traditionally, yes.
Okay.
There have been some stories in Shin or Acadia of like a good devil that's trying their best or a demon trying their best, but it's very sparse. It happens, but it's
Okay.
not common.
Okay.
So, to add on that clarification, it's the same. I assume that it will be similar for undead, for example, whereas the undead can be redeemed if they do their business and are laid to rest. I feel like there's a similar principle with demons. Yes.
Very similar. Absolutely. Also depends, of course, on the undead you're
Of
talking
course.
about.
Yeah.
Common skeleton.
Well, yeah,
They're just walking will. They don't really
If they
have
have
a thing.
if they have intelligence,
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure out how that gets dealt with in the future should it happen.
Of course. So Morel kind of picks up the Awesome Ra, puts an arm around his shoulder, puts one of his around his waist, and then he starts walking, kind of making sure to put up the show about how he's like, listen, mate, we've been over this. 3 liquor before beer, you're in the clear. All right. Now let's get you back, cool heads, and we'll see you in a couple of hours. We'll just sleep it off. And he just kind of crutch walks Awesome Ra, who seems very kind of dissociative, but does kind of like just nod yes instinctually. They walk over to the type and pint. And just for your edification, you know that Morel has put him in a room on the top floor and has locked the room, and he is just an overwatch for Awesome Ra.
Awesome. Alona turns to Shionibus. Hey. How are you doing?
Like anyone would if when their loved one, turns into a demon.
Right. I wasn't here when he turned or started turning. What happened?
We were just talking. I had brought up that I had spoken to Ra and about how Ra has never had him as one of his own children, and I don't understand how that's even possible when he's been worshiping him for as long as I know, and then all of a sudden he started to get horns and he couldn't say his name, and instead he was saying Ravon's name.
Shionibus, I don't know how to tell you this, and I don't know the circumstances where this happened, but it's highly possible that Awesome Ra is actually a follower of Ravon, because when I looked into his eyes, I saw Ravon's symbol.
You know, ever since he came back, in the back of my mind, I always knew it wasn't him. The last thing Ravon told me when he showed up was that I will kill you with kindness. I don't think he ever actually let him go when Kioma brought him back. I think it was all just kind of a ploy, and he released some of the reins to allow him to come back to the mortal realm. I think that's how he did it. I'm gonna kill him.
I know you're angry and you have every reason to be angry. But we need to figure out how to sever his ties with Ravon, if he even wants to, or if he is even Awesome Ra.
Do you know how to do that? Because I sure as hell don't. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to snap.
No, I understand. I get it. I don't. But we can figure it out together. She turns to Rufa. Rufa, you've been all over the world at this point, and do you know where we could find records of? I've looked through almost every book I could in Nubia. I didn't find anything like this. The only thing I found was Shonibus, I don't know. I didn't get a chance to tell you before we came back, but one of the last books that I read before we came over here was a nonfiction book on the Red Wastes, and it talked about when they discovered that Awesome Ra went missing. They didn't find a body.
Yeah. We had a empty tomb for him.
I don't know what that means, but if there's nothing in the libraries of Nubia that I've read that I could find, Rufa, do you know of anywhere else that we could go, that we could read on demons or the history of the world?
PJ, can I roll a recall knowledge occultism? I believe that would refer to demons, right?
No, demons would be related to religion.
Oh.
Occult is really more like how to put it, cryptids, Cthulhu, and local superstitions.
Okay. Then I will roll a religion then, recall knowledge.
Okay.
Oh, and also before that, with my second open case, I'm picking this demon stuff as my second case.
Demon stuff.
Detective time.
I thought you were gonna sing that to the tune of Stacy's mom.
I thought so too.
Detective time only has one rhyme.
That's really bad. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
And I got a 26.
Okay, on religion, correct?
Yeah.
And you're looking for just generic demon or devil information, or do you want something specific?
Ravon, because Alona specifically said Ravon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So You, Morel, Tobias, Alona, anyone who practices or even knows about the faith of the Astrogenicon, you know the story inside and out about how the War for the Seven Glories ended in the fall of Magadan at the betrayal, quote unquote, of Ravan. And when they fell to the Nine Hells, the two brothers, Magadan and Ravan, fell to the farthest floor of hell, where they have beaten each other up daily out of rage and anger. And according to some philosophers, they really believe at any point in time, Ravan and Magadan could leave their own little pit of hell. But upon looking at the whole to vacate their own torture, they prefer to stay and beat each other up. Ravan is kind of always depicted as the reluctant brother forced by brothership bonds to follow an ambitious tyrant. And as such is both vile and angry. You know that there is also no stories in the Astrogenicon about any, there's a handful of possessions, but that's kind of about it. There's a lot about possessions. If you want more information, you know that if you want to learn more about this, your ass is gonna have to go to the Platinum Hammer, because all of the holy text, especially the stuff they don't put in the Astrogenicon, is kept there. Now, that being said, you can definitely open up a think tank about what the heck's going on with Awesome Ra with the group, because you have the Grand Hospitalier of said Platinum Hammer. You have Alona, who's basically a walking religious textbook and TED Talk, and Morel, who's doing his best. But he's also pretty wise.
And Ichi's here for moral support.
That's right. She will power bomb your problems.
That's exactly.
I actually didn't realize. Was I present for that conversation? Oh, I super was. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was private. So here we are.
Question.
Okay.
Question. When you say you know, they're fighting brothers and all that stuff. So Ravan, I'm gonna assume kind of that has his anger is more like the excuse me, the little brother jealousy type of anger, right?
No, it's how to put it. You'd have to talk to someone like Alona or Tobias to get more intel on the psychology of this. You've just kind of been reading the books kind of intermittently throughout your life. Now, if you want to have more of a study on it, you can absolutely study the Astrogenicon with Alona in further detail.
All right. Well, Rufa's gonna present the knowledge to the think tank, and he's also going to state that, well, for now, hopefully, Rufa affixed it a little something up that, just in case if the whole possession thing is much like the handful of tales about demons, devils, such as that. Hopefully, that should at least hold whatever's going on there at bay. But honestly, unless we have a better lead to go on, we should perhaps go to the people over at the Platinum Hammer. Rufa has met and spoke to two of them.
You are the investigator, after all.
That I need him.
I would like to make it frank. If it comes down to the fact that our good Awesome Ra has willingly subjected himself to this attrition of the self, it will not be a favorable ideal from the Platinum Hammer. But if this is more of an affliction, then it is something that we can offer a second chance on.
I can't imagine that the Awesome Ra that we know would ever do this willingly.
I am not intimately familiar with the amount of battlefields you may have seen and the desperation of man, but I do not leave anything up to conjecture, in this circumstance at least.
Bias is right. If it comes down to it, and he is, in fact, a follower, drastic measures will have to be taken.
I will note that just because you are a follower does not mean that you are beyond reproach. The unfortunate reality of the situation is we all can be fooled. No one is flawless and no one is infallible. And if they see the error of their ways and are willing to pull back from such a notion in a genuine manner, I see no problem ensuring the safety therein. But a zealot is a zealot, and that has no say. We all understand what a zealot is. They will throw themselves in whatever way they wish for whatever power they get, whether we like it or not. Now, I of course wish to think more of our good Asamra, but as you agreed, in times of hardship, we go towards times of desperation and our mind is oft clouded. If there is clarity to be found within those clouds, so be it. If there is not, then we know what must be done.
Well, we have to take you back to the Platinum Hammer anyway, Tobias. Because
I would love that.
right, yeah, I know you're not doing so hot.
Don't remind me.
uh,
We're here for now, not for later. Just, we are here because it is important. I'm fine.
Well,
So you're also very full of shrimp.
I'm very full of shrimp.
And Ichi, having said that, will turn to Shionibus and stick her hands out, say, "Can I give you a hug?"
All like 6 foot of Shionibus is going to like go like drop to her knees and just hug Ichi.
Ichi's Shionibus really tight, and she's gonna say, "We got this. We got this, Shionibus."
Bias
We're-
will unceremoniously interject. And even if we don't, well, it'll be fine.
No, we do.
Oh, I just
Oh.
respect the reality of the situation.
Listen,
I'm going to turn and glare
Alona?
at Tobias.
Alona reads books. Rufa investigates things. Tobias
does. They sure do.
whatever Tobias does.
I
I have a hammer and I'll kill whatever needs to get killed. That way Alona doesn't have to do it. And also I'm really strong and she'll squeeze Shionibus just a little bit more.
3 of her vertebrae definitely crack.
And Morel, he does the best he can.
I need
We got
everyone to make a
this.
perception check.
I will be too busy to make this perception check because at the mention of Morel doing the best you can, I will look at him and be like, "You're trying so hard."
Crap.
Rufus going to lean.
I
in
will
over at
absolutely forego the perception check to give a quip to that man.
Itchy. Rufus going to kind of lean over to Itchy and kind of just whisper, "Friend Itchy, Rufa thinks that friend Chonobus is turning slightly blue."
Oh, okay.
It's fine.
Just
It's fine. It's fine.
release and give a good pat on the shoulder.
I really wanted you to say, and Tobias eats shrimp.
Tobias is full of shrimp, and I'm sure that'll come in handy.
It's definitely going to come back up. That's for sure.
Fun fact, actual Tobias doesn't like shrimp. Aw.
It's
This is
gross.
a fantasy game,
Um,
okay?
I don't know. Fantasy Tobias can do what he wants. Like, you've given me too much power.
I got a dirty 20 for perception.
20, excellent. Michael, what was your perception check?
25.
Okay, 22, 20, 25. Sam, what was Ichi's?
25 actually, yeah.
25. Okay. So quick clarification. At this point, Morel has kind of been gone for a few minutes, having put Asimra into a room. There is a lovely fulu from Shin put on the doorway, and Morel has been there kind of doing Overwatch. Almost as if summoned by name, Morel's body is thrown and lands on the ground near you, kind of scudding on his armor. He gets up like an attack stance right away and looks at you and goes, "Oh, there's been a small complication." And then he just starts booking it back to the typing pint.
What? Huh? Huh? No? What? Run?
All I have is my fist.
Going for it, but also PJ, you made us roll a perception check for that.
You see a giant man go flying through the air.
I think that's something we would notice even with a 2.
Look. I'm not gonna. I don't know your life. Okay. Anyway,
Can I just like interject that with the 25? Ichi just notices like, wow, his skin's looking pretty great these days. Gotta ask him what his routine is.
So you all run back to the room with Morel. You see when you get there, you see Asimra standing in the center of the room, and he has summoned his short spear of Ra and shield, and he's shouting Nubian obscenities at something not in the room, and he's striking at the wall, causing massive divots as holy fire starts breaking from the holes he is puncturing in this room. You speak Nubian, right, Shunbus? So you hear
I sure
him.
as heck do.
You hear him shouting in Nubian, basically back defiler, back corrupted, cursed tongue, back demon or devil, back. I am the wall of Ra. I am the sun god's champion. I will scorch you through the earth this day. And he's just screaming a battle cry again and again as he's striking an empty wall. And then eventually you see steam start to come off his body as he starts convulsing, and he drops his spear and he drops to his knees, and it seems like he's choking upon his own name in his throat once again. And he puts his hands on the ground, starts punching his chest. And as you look, you see his eyes, you see a corona of fire like the sun burning in his eyes. And that red fire turns into a hellish red with rivets breaking out of it like a steel wheel. And then eventually the fire of the sun bursts again, goes into his eyes, and he falls back. I need everyone to give me a religion check.
Oh, son of a bitch. Also, Mahooch says, stop messing up my pub.
Yeah, you hear a thunk, 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 thunk. Everything okay up there, mate? I'm here a bunch of fighting, and I don't think I like where it's going. Can't get my Irish today. God.
At this point, Rufus gonna mutter, "This is why I suggested the bond."
I rolled real low. I got a solid 13.
Oof, rough.
26.
Okay.
16.
17.
I heard 16, I heard 17. 17? Yeah. And Michael Powell, what was yours?
28.
28. Aurel's gonna roll a religion check. Okay. So you all look at this, and at this point in time, you realize something as Asimra is on the ground, panting and huffing and seeming very disoriented. It takes a little longer to hit Tobias's brain. Morel kind of goes, you don't suppose. Alona and Rufa strikes like a bolt of lightning. He's possessed.
Yeah, great.
His soul is possessed, and it's not a full possession just yet. Something is trying to corrupt his soul, and his soul is fighting back. He is torn between two entities.
PJ, on a scale of 1 to 10 on a level of possession, right? What would this number be?
Well, that's a very good question.
I never thought
I never thought a sliding scale is necessary for possession. It's like
I feel like it's the emojis when it's like one's like really happy and then one's like really sad.
full on
Pain scale.
witch prince or to regular.
I mean, if I had to be honest, I think a full possession's a level 10 possession, right? Because that's when you're possessed. I'm going to say he's somewhere between a 5 and a 7.5. He's not
6.5, solid.
6.5. He's got a nice D- working right now.
Rufa's gonna study it. Oh my! This is definitely at least a 6.5 possession class. 6.5 possession.
Oh no. Oh no.
You made Tobias leave. But I'll give you your point for that. Shonibus, with your 17, the minute you hear he's possessed and his soul is fighting something, You hear a whisper on the winds of Agrippa upon a bear cresting over the waters. And a voice continues to say on this wind, Barnabas, remind me where it was that you threw away my medallion.
You'll have to re-jog my memory. I mean, I remember that. Yeah.
Yes.
What about it?
Do you remember on that day what I said to you?
You'll have to re-jog my memory. It's been kind of a long day.
I looked upon the sands as I spread it across my scale, and I saw something. And I promised you one day that I would give you a favor for the hardships that you suffered. If you care anything for this immortal child of my uncle, my father, and your home, then you will listen to me very carefully. Take Asimra back home with you. Upon meeting in the sands, my hidden acolytes and inquisitors will meet you. You will know them as they look. They have taken upon them my countenance. They will take you to my private chamber. And there, I will put his heart upon the scale. And what happens next, I can only say, I will do my best.
And if it doesn't work out in my favor,
then I have at least kept my end of my bargain as best as I can.
Sounds to me like you have no control over the weighing of the heart. So how do you rig your game?
Are you talking to the wind, speaking to Shionibus?
I'm sorry. I came back in.
It's quite all right. It's quite all right. But if you are, give me a perception check first to make sure you hear it.
Yeah, happy to. If I do, that'd be great.
Give me a perception check to see if you even hear it.
Oh God, where's perception on this character sheet?
Top right, near the top right.
Yeah, it's outside of the skills box.
Yeah.
It's above the skills column.
It's right under hit points.
What's perception based on?
Wisdom.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
Sorry.
But that's fine. So it's your raw wisdom modifier plus 1d20.
Wisdom modifier plus 1d20 plus your level plus 2. Yeah, it stacks up real quick.
Got it. 25.
Perfect. You can hear a little something on the wind, and you can also notice that Shonibus is absolutely hearing something on the wind. The closest thing you can hear that you can make out in words, something about Anubis.
Tobias will retract any statements he has about that. Is Anubis in this world the traditional Abupus Snoopus?
Absolutely. He actually has a chamber somewhere on this mortal plane.
Tight. Can I throw you a religion check about it?
Absolutely. While you're doing that, in the meantime, Shonibus, do you have anything you want to say or any questions?
is this what you were waiting to happen for the other day?
I knew that you would come under dire circumstances. I knew that you would require my judgment. But I cannot make for certain what it is you need until we get to that point in time. You bring the man to me. I take his heart from his chest. I put it on the scale. What happens after that is what happens.
Really quick, I was wondering if Tobias is okay with this, if Rufa and Tobias and Lona could kind of have a side to think tank this out, so I could give Tobias a bonus.
I think Tobias would be too focused on trying to hear the words that are happening at the moment, with his religion check, as he's parsing through his brain what he knows about Anubis. Would be my only mention. If the whispers calm down and there's an after, yes, I believe that they get get together. But if this is in the moment, I think Tobias is going to be focusing too hard on getting what the fuck's going on.
Yep. Okay. So, yeah, while this is happening, Rufa, if you'd like to think tank with me or
Okay.
Ichi, have Ichi in on here and see what we can come up with together, then yeah, totally. I'm down.
All right. So, let's see. Well, whoever's going to make the roll, I'm going to give them a +4. To it.
+4 to
religion recall knowledge check.
Okay.
So that'll be a 30 for me. If that bumps me up to what out of game Tobias would know, because I told you that thing, PJ.
Okay. So I just want to clarify, we're doing a think tank on what exactly?
So I heard a thing and I was like, yeah, Anubis, blah, 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 blah. I got to think real hard about that. That exchange stopped happening. I took a step back and Rufa came by and was like, hey, what you thinking about? And I was like, hey, this thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was the think tank.
Cool. Then what I will say is you are going to be given information that you wouldn't normally have, but collaboratively you're able to put this together, as Shionibus directly knows where this is. You know that there is kind of an oasis somewhere beyond the Red Wastes into kind of the most fertile part of Nubia. And somewhere hidden in there, you've never been inside, but you've definitely seen, kind of cresting a dune and staring at you, the acolytes of Anubis. It's hard to tell. You think you've seen them wearing like the kind of gilded helmets with the jackal head.
I think all I need for the conclusions I would draw is, do I know about Anubis and the weighing of the heart?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know about the weighing of the heart and the scale.
I think that's all I need for this.
Then you got it.
Cool.
100%.
Out of character, just so I know, demons in the Edge of Legend world, demons, devils, wherever the situation is, are they known to be like notorious liars and stuff like that?
Well, they're two different things.
Okay.
A devil could be something else. Devils have different things. Now, demons are usually tend to be agents of corruption and violence, but they oftentimes will take on different aspects depending on what that demon specifically, likes to do. But that being said, all that aside, now it comes down to Shionibus. What are you going to do?
I will meet with your acolytes past the sands.
The spirits that protect the continent of the Triumvirate know that you're coming. Get a boat. Come to me immediately. We will pay the contract in kind.
If my friends are to come with me, will they have safe passage as well?
Yes, you will need them.
And it's done.
My daughter, I am truly sorry.
As am I.
So with that, it doesn't take a lot of effort to book a boat. Now, the question is there any other stuff you want to take care of in Agrippa upon Aubert before you leave for the triumvirate continent and the country of Nubia.
I would like to note our location, where that location is, and where I need to end up.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. How are we gonna kill Tobias with this trip?
Tobias isn't looking great, but he's not looking that bad. And
Yeah.
his personality seems fine. He's not weak. He looks like he's had a traumatic depressive fit for 3 weeks, but not like he's not dying.
Alona, I believe you have a coupon for 1 free woodworked promise to give to Tobias.
I do. Well, this is for Tobias, so he, that saying that we can drop you off in lieu of Woodward, because I know you and Woodward, you guys had a special kind of relationship. Like, you got down on one knee and you promised him a bunch of stuff, and like it sounded like a proposal, and he was very confused, and like,
An
but
oath is an
Woodward's
oath. I don't care how they take it.
right. Yeah, that makes sense too, I guess. It sounded like marriage to me, but I can't blame you. Woodward is a very small, cute person. But here, have this.
He'll take it very questioningly and kind of look at it like,
The minute you hold it, look upon it, it's almost as if when Cinderella gets her ball gown for the party, and it's this beautiful like gold glitter moves around you, and as it does, you can see your frame slowly start to fill into what you're familiar with, what your body normally is, and as the whole glitter fades, and then there's a flash of light, you look like the Tobias that everyone is usually accustomed to seeing.
oh, how long do I have an understanding of how long this is going to delay my life or not?
You look at the coupon, and in true Tobias Raphael's fashion, you believe that so long as you hold this coupon, you're scot-free.
I pocket it immediately.
Huh. That's freaking cool.
Maybe I was expecting some tucked in
And
lace
you've
to,
been
to
hanging
hear.
on to that for how long?
Whatever. Alona doesn't know.
Yep, everything's great. You're beautiful, Ilona. Never change.
Oh. Okay. And cool. Nubia, right?
I guess.
How long does the trip to Nubia take from Pano-Bear?
It'll take, I mean, it's pretty good travel distance because you're going from one hemisphere to another. So I'm going to say it's going to take about 3 weeks.
Okay. Do we need to do anything to Awesome Ra to make sure he doesn't go berserk in that time?
You can try to make a religion check to see what could help in this case. With your knowledge of possession from ore, you would definitely have a good basis for this.
Okay. Kylie, you look like you want to say something too.
I just have a question. Is there an herb shop that I can go to find some kind of herb to incapacitate him for the continuous of this trip?
Get him so high.
That sounds terrible. That sounds
so high.
god awful.
Yeah,
But-
yeah. There's a few places. You also know that if you want like the really, can't believe I'm about to say this, the really strong magic herb, you can go to Isuo's place, which is not too far from where you are currently.
I'll make my way over there.
Okay.
I'll probably drag both Tobias and Alona with me.
I'll absolutely
'Cause
go, yeah.
I don't think I should be trusted.
Oh
alone
my
at this
god, the devil's letters!
Oh no!
Amazing.
Sorry, that just sunk in. Oh my god.
Okay.
But at least we're
Alright.
not in Georgia.
But is where we are the Georgia of this world? That's something PJ has not told us.
I'm sorry, could you say that again? What?
Where is the Georgia of this world, PJ?
Oh God, the Georgia.
I have to go to Georgia in February. Don't do this to me.
Think about it. Think about it.
I'm
Tell us
gonna-
next time.
I'm gonna think real long and hard about that. I'll get back to you on what is Georgia. Full of peaches. So, going to Isuo's place, you find them in their house, just kind of enjoying like a really nice brandy and a pipe. And then when you enter, they kind of look at you. Oh, I'm sorry. Would you like some brandy? Would you like a pipe? Would you like something? More of my manners.
We need drugs. I didn't say
I'll
that.
take a drink.
Oh, great. Would you like brandy? Do you want some whiskey? Do you want something stronger? I got something new from the north. It's really strong.
I'll take nothing from the north, that's for sure. Just whatever's easiest.
Sure. Okay. And they of course pull out a glass, put 2 ice cubes in it, do a nice little splash up, and they give you this drink, and it looks like water. And Eastwood kind of smiles and laughs. He goes, I think you'd like this. Give it a try. I'm going to warn you, tastes terrible, but it's going to put you where you want to go.
Just shoots it
Tobias
back.
and me. Oh damn! Got him. Tobias
just
reaches a hand out as you shoot it.
She's gonna hand him the empty glass.
You
He will put it on the
absolutely
bar.
just full-bodied an entire glass of vodka.
You know, Kai likes vodka, so I'm okay with this.
All right. High grain vodka. And that's even, I don't like vodka, but that's just me. So it's a little
Coward.
rough, burns. I like my whiskey. I'm not a coward. I have taste. Now, that being said,
But
so that being said, after the vodka hits, give me a fortitude save. As Isuo goes, so you're looking for narcotics?
30.
30. Yeah. Nothing. Burn and nothing.
Yeah. It's gonna sound odd. I just need something to make someone sleep for a prolonged amount of time.
Okay. When you say sleep, do you want them to have good dreams, or do you just want their body to turn off? What are you looking for exactly?
Yeah, what are we looking for exactly? I mean, that's I don't know. At this point I don't know much of anything. Alona, Tobias?
Alone looks at Tobias.
what about it?
I don't know. I
Should-
don't.
Should they have dreams? Is that if he has dreams?
No
he needs
dreams.
to be.
No
Oh,
dreams.
I mean, yes, dreams will be inevitably catastrophic, though it could provide for potential amusement should those dreams be null. I do believe that if you wish for a comfortable cruise, that perhaps you may wish to think outside of the box, and by that I mean the night realm, wherein you don't have fucking dreams. But I believe you can make your own decisions here.
Yeah, let's do no dreams. I'm afraid that he'll have more an attachment to him even in his sleep.
Yeah. Okay. No dreams it is. Give me a second. I'll be right back. They go
I, on the
into
other hand, would like the one with dreams. He'll raise his finger and drop like 100 gold on the table. That should take the tab.
Okay. So with 100 gold on the table, Eastwell goes, oh, thank you. It's a pleasure to have the Grand Hospitalier in my tiny little home. Yes, one
Please,
second.
you don't need to address me as that. I'm just Tobias here. It's fine.
Oh, you're just Tobias in my home. Truly, you have blessed me with just Tobias.
I
Nice
know.
blessing.
And to you.
Eastwell goes to the back room. He takes out a special key, opens the door, closes it. A few minutes pass, opens up, door closes, and they come back with this kind of cotton or like a burlap kind of pouch with a drawstring. And they open it up, and inside you see this kind of blue, red, and purple like herb. And they say, if you make this into a tea, or if you put it as a garnish on food, or if you have an inhalable source, this should get you to where you want to go. This I should say right now, this is really heavy. If you do like a good handful, probably get you about a week and a half at a time.
But if we're trying to inoculate someone for 3 weeks, Not that I would say that we were doing that.
Not my business, but what I will say is that this should be enough to last you for about a month, so
seems
long as
good.
you're not too heavy with your hand.
Would you legitimately prescribe a dosage amount if I was to inoculate someone for 3 weeks?
I don't believe in good conscience I can really go through with that. But what I will say
what
is
if I
just
did say if it was in good conscience?
assuming it's for the greater good. You're adults, of course.
The Grand Hospitalier would never ask you something unethical.
And I would never hear anything unethical from the Grand Hospitalier.
Ergo, if you have recommendations, I would in fact like to hear from you.
Oh, well, yes. So yes, take this herb that I have here, take about a good hefty handhold of it, put it into, as I mentioned before, and make sure you re-up it every week and a half. There may be some grogginess when coming out of it, but nothing that a quick meal and then back to sleep shouldn't fix. That being said, before I forget, and they get out this kind of leather case with a handle on it, and they slide it across. I believe Master Rufa wished for some alterations to their whip, so here they are. Make sure he gets it. Thank you so much.
By all means, thank you kindly.
Of course. And remember, if you need anything, please let me know. I'm very happy to help.
Yes, your cooperation is noted, and I certainly appreciate it.
Oh, you flatter me, you. And they get their pipe and they start to smoke a little bit. So again, if you need anything else, please let me know. But until then, if you'd like to have some tea, I may have to kick you out. It is my party as well for myself.
Wait, we can have tea.
Yes. Yes. A man of culture. I have
I
so many
would love
teas.
tea.
I
what
would
kind
love
of teas do you have, my friend?
Oh, we have mushroom tea from the dwarves of the north. Let me tell you, it hits a little weird, but it
No.
really does the
I'm
job.
very familiar with dwarven teas. I would love one.
You will have dwarven tea? A man of culture. Everyone else leave. Shoo, shoo, shoo. I'm going to have tea with the Grand Hospitalier. This is incredible. Unless you all would like to... Where are my manners? Unless you'd like to have dwarven tea with me too, Alona,
Do not
Shionibus.
disinvite my associates. It's a little rude.
Sorry, it's been a long
Leave
time
where
since I was
your
able to have a tea date.
employers.
You're my patrons, and I thank you for your
No,
patronage.
not yours. His.
Excuse me. I said associates.
Mm.
Would you like to be my employers at this point? Because if that's the case, then I believe that my reputation here will be less powerful, in which case the arrangement of our entire enjoyment of this charade is squarely on the shoulders of our good shopkeep.
I'm not even gonna. Nope, I'm done. Alona, I'm gonna get some fresh air.
He will grab whatever tea is near him and just cheers the gent
right.
serving tea.
Give me a fortitude saving roll.
Fucking sold.
I'm so excited.
Okay, that's not as bad as it could have been. Let's see here. It's not great. Oh, that I rolled real bad.
Oh no.
That'll be a 15.
Okay. So I don't know who's there to witness this. Raise a hand if you're there to witness this. But Isuo sits on their wonderful couch. You are taking this really basically like the good chair, and they're giving it to you because you're the guest, and this really nice relaxing chair. And you take a sip of this tea, which has the consistency of like soup. And when you drink it, there's this very warm, salty,
I feel like I've
buttery...
had this before, though. Yes.
Yeah, you might have run into
especially
it.
Considering my mentor in my trade.
That's 1,000%. Your mentor definitely gave you one of these, and you start feeling again. It's almost like drinking like broccoli cheddar soup, but without the cheddar. And as you start drinking it, you start feeling the warmth fill your tummy, and then you start feeling that warmth in your tummy, make your toes cold and your hands go numb, and you just start kind of fading into the couch. As Isuo sips it and goes, and they say, "Now remember, pace yourself. It's a wonderful tea. It's very rich, but it will make you lose track of some hours if you're not careful."
That's perfectly fine. Quite frankly, if I spend too many hours, I'm sure someone will drag me out of here out of frustration. Nothing could go wrong.
Well, the best part is you'll be a wonderful gift when they come. You'll just be this delightful little present ready to leave.
I always am.
So I don't know if Alona or Shonbus was there, but Tobias is now basically mellowing out on the couch with this
We are into
northern-
couch.
You're into couch. Yep. I had it in my brain. So that being said, any other business? Yes, Sam.
So I think this is business before we leave town, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Ichi will have gathered up Rufa and dragged him to their theater to talk with the directors or whoever's available and who's in charge.
I have the notes. It's been a long time since we talked to these NPCs with names. I'm gonna have to figure it out. But you do meet them. You do see them in the theater. They're having another argument about the next show, about the next chronicle of the heroes of tomorrow. And they're like, no. We absolutely can't start off on the boat. We have to get to the boat. No, but if we start off with the boat, it'd be a massive explosion. But that makes no bloody sense. You're always just cutting corners to make grand gestures. You need to earn it. And they're having this fight while you're getting to them.
Hey guys. Hey.
Patrons.
Oh, hi. Yeah, so we're heading out of town. I just wanted to talk to you about a few things. Oh, we lost Michael. Darn it. I wanted him here for this.
Michael.
Oh no.
I hope he comes back because I wanted him involved in this.
Oh my God. I just want to note that Joe Paloma just seamlessly transitioned us into a 5-stack.
Yup.
And that is some prowess.
Yeah, Joe is like a
professional.
whiz. He's on it every time. He's
Like-
fixing it.
Like as someone
Amazing.
who has produced his own streams and shit, like that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is like
Damn.
Swiss. Well, and
So while we wait for Michael, sadly, I'm gonna cry if he doesn't come back for this scene. Yeah, Ichi will just be like, so you're I see you're having what do they call it? Creative negotiations.
we're having a fight is what we're having. Yes, because of course my friend here, who is my partner in crime, is an absolute lazy writer when it comes to narrative structures and just wants to just all the big concepts we don't even have budgets for.
Listen, we're gonna use, we're gonna just reframe that statement. You're gonna say, I feel that my partner is shirking their writing duties. This is how we have a constructive conversation, okay?
Fine. I feel like my partner is a lazy writer who likes to cut to unearned moments. There, did I
Okay.
do it right?
And you, how do you feel?
Well, I feel like this bloke over here just keeps going off and off and off about feelings and emotions. And quite frankly, it's all just a little navel gazing and pedantic. If we don't actually give them anything to watch, they're going to get bored listening to philosophy all the time.
Okay. That's valid. You're valid. You're both valid. So now look at this. And Ichi holds out her iced coffee. Do you know what this is?
It's the Ichi special from the Bun Boys Bun Shop.
Absolutely. And do you know what makes it special?
Because it's an endorsement of you.
Yes, but that's not the only reason. It's special because it has the perfect balance of bitter, dark coffee and sweet, creamy milk. Okay? And do you think it would be special if it didn't have either of those things?
They kind of both have a heavy sigh. Give me a diplomacy check.
Ooh, sorry, I got real excited about that. That is an 18 plus 9, which I didn't pull up my calculator.
That's a 27, I want to say. That's really good.
That's 27, yeah.
Yeah. So they kind of make a big sigh and they both kind of like muddle and mumble like, yeah, you're right. One of them looks up and he goes, Joyce, I know you're very big on the whole the metaphysical aspects of life and all this philosophy, and honestly, it does give more humanity to me pieces, or otherwise it'd just be nonsense. No. You're right. We need to give them something action-packed, or else they might as well be in a lecture at school about humanities. Thank you.
Good. So now that you understand coffee and theater, I've got a job for you.
Oh, what's that? What job do you have for us? We're excited for it.
So I really love the performance you all put on recently. But we're going to start what is called the Ichi and Rufa Diversity Initiative for actors of many colors. Okay.
I love it.
And
Absolutely.
I will be funding this. We will be funding this. And so what you're going to do, you're going to take the show on the road. How do you feel about that? You two in a cart together for miles and miles.
I feel like I already want to punch him in the arm. I'll punch you lower than that.
Great. That tension is just what we're looking for. So you're going to do this. You're going to put out casting calls in each new city. You're going to find new talent. It's going to be so great. And also you're going to hire goblins for goblin roles.
Of course. Yeah, of course. We wanted to before, we couldn't find any here. But
Exactly.
but that's the solution.
And
If we go on the road, then we can find goblins and orcs all over the place. And I heard somewhere there's an orc group that does theater. I'd love to learn what they do for theater. Oh, this sounds like, I love the solution. We'll have to go across the world. What do you say? I'd rather be drunk and dead, but quite honestly, what the hell? Why not? I'm just getting bored in this place anyway. To adventure.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I'm very excited to see what you come out with this. I'll be sending money, here or there. And we're gonna, I think, probably set up some kind of brand deal with the Bun Boys. It'll be great. But yeah, I'll send you some letters in the mail. Figure out the details. Have your people call my people. Yeah, all the good stuff. Sound good?
It sounds bloody great. Of course. We'll stay in touch. We'll leave when the week's over and the party's done. We'll get everything together and we'll just hit the road. Why not?
Beautiful. Whatever they say in theater, Mamma Mia. And she just finger guns and walks out the door.
So as you walk away, one of them goes, Mamma Mia. What is she saying? I'm in over my head, Mamma Mia. Wait, that's a catchy hook. Mamma Mia. Joyce, give me a pen and paper. I just had a flash of instinct. And as you leave, they start off to go make the Edge of Legend universe version of Mamma Mia.
Thank you for that trauma. I really appreciate it.
Created ABBA.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm just surprised it's taken us this long.
I can't believe I have to disconnect from this game. Hey guys, have a great night. It's great playing with y'all.
Holy hell.
Loved you, but you know what? You mentioned the ABBA, and I just gotta get out of here. I can't do the ABBs. Can't do it.
No one can really in good conscience.
That's it for me.
So just kind of, I guess, skipping ahead a little bit, you are eventually able to get a boat. And I just had a brain blast in the green room. Michael did mention that there is power outs around his area. He may not be rejoining us for the rest of the game, unfortunately. Michael, if you're seeing this later, we love you. Thank you so much. We hope to see you again soon tonight. If not, we'll see you next week. So speak of the devil.
As you
Get
spoke.
fucked.
You
You're
can't
a
see this, but
wizard.
he's popping back into the green room.
Yay.
My back.
Yes, hello.
Yay. We just said you weren't coming back and he's back. Yay.
Because I was like, oh no, power outs. And
Yep.
look at that.
Yay.
Okay, so yeah, we got ourselves a Michael, everybody.
I also just want to tell you, Michael, You missed the whole scene that I wanted you there for. It's
Darn.
okay. I told the theater that they're going on the road, and then we accidentally made ABBA in the fantasy universe. So you'll have to rewatch that part because it's very important to me. And then just tell me later what Rufa would have done in that scene, just so I can, because I need it. You know.
We'll do. Before we go on this trip, I have a couple things. Two of them really quick. One of them, Rufus gonna get some more of those Fulus that he affixed to the room, the type in pine. And the other one is to get 5 water skins and have them be blessed by members of the Platinum Hammer. Wait, okay, I'm still here. And one last thing would be Rufus gonna spend some time just to do some quick reference research on whether this possession is demon or devil possessed.
Sure thing. Since you're gonna have 3 weeks of downtime, we can absolutely just say that kind of happens along the way. So yeah, you absolutely get some blessed talismans and fulus of the Platinum Hammer. Tobias is not here, so I'm gonna say he will definitely be forced to help you out along the way. But yeah, also doing some research as you're traveling. Oh, and Awesome Raw is constantly going in and out. Like 5 to 7 days of just nap time, few days of like hanging around talking, and then like every time you have to feed him the knockout herb, he just kind of goes, it's okay, I'll see you in a few days when I wake up again, and then goes out. And this kind of keeps swinging through. The few times you get to research with all the holy people on this boat, Tobias, Alona, Morel, and everyone else who's interested, you can 100% ascertain that he is currently fighting a possession by a devil, by Ravan himself.
Okay.
Oh my God! What? No!
See, this is why we need to know what type. It's like diagnosing a disease.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta know which is a bacterial infection or a virus.
It's okay.
I learned that from House.
You know what? It's just because Shonibus is just on that level, man. She's just on that level. You know, Ravan just has to be like, I can't pull that. I have to possess
He wants
somebody.
my home. He wants my home. So how do you take my home? You take the closest thing to me.
Well, or if you got engaged to Awesome Ra again, and then he married you for your kingdom, and then he would have legal, thing over it.
I mean, it's not happening now. So
oh no, he ruined it. he ruined it.
I want to make sure during our boat ride, a Fulu at all times is one of those Fulus is affixed over the entrance of the room that Awesome Ra is in.
Everyone give me a stealth check.
I swear every time you say that, I think you're saying Cthulhu, and I'm like, is there
stealthing away
for
from
the Wrangler of
Tobias?
Cthulhu's? He has a bunch of little Cthulhu's running around.
That's kind of cute.
I'm using a hero point.
Yeah, might as well. Everyone starts off with 1. Tobias certainly has 2
There
right
goes
now.
that one.
Maybe I'll use mine because what else am I gonna use?
Ooh, that was still shitty.
That's
19.
Too.
So I heard a 19. Sam, did you say 22?
No, I said I'm using my hero point too, and it also wasn't great. So now that's a 10.
Okay. Oof. Ilona.
8.
Oof. Michael, what was yours?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. It takes about 2 weeks. At that point, Shonibus, you are so close to home. At that point in time, you start getting a very weird vibe from the people running this boat. They're talking about you behind your back. They're giving you weird looks everywhere you go, and they're starting to kind of whisper. As you see the members of the boat whispering and talking behind their back, eventually, somewhere in that 2nd week period, as you're about to enter the 3rd week to get home, the captain walks up with his crew behind him, and they go, all right, it's been a cute 2 weeks. We've been seeing you running around, giving drugs to people. putting holy artifacts all over this bloody boat. What do you have in there? What are you keeping that we're not allowed to see? I swear, by the great Lord of the Seas, last time I was on a boat with this, there was a neck biter, some great monster of the long dead. We had to. Thankfully, we docked at a port with a powered and the platinum hammer that killed the sucker. But if you have a vampire on this boat, I will throw you all overboard right now.
No, and she'll Ichi will walk up to the guy and be like, shh, okay, come over here, and like kind of like look at Shionibus, and then like look away and be like, it's so that beautiful elven woman was engaged to be married, and he cheated on her and broke a covenant so pure in such a foul way that he's basically, we're taking him to face justice, elven justice, which, I mean, look at me, I don't know anything about it. Like, it's kind of weird, but apparently it's a really big deal because they live a long time. I don't know if you knew about elves. She'll like look back at Shionibus, like, and then and she's very emotional about it. So I would suggest you just kind of keep it chill, dude, because like you don't want to see her get upset about this again. We had to have a girls' night. It was a really long night. I don't think I can drink that much again.
Give me a deception check.
Can I hear any of this?
Probably.
Probably.
Is
She's
between
talking
you
loud. Even though she's acting like be quiet, she's talking loud. So
Yeah, I was wondering
I'm
if
gonna,
Luca
like-
could walk. Oh,
And just like look up and like dab my eyes as if I'm trying not to cry.
All right, roll for aid. Give me a deception to aid.
Oh my god.
I was wondering if
Oh.
Rufa could kind of wander over and kind of put his hand on the stair, like, yes, it is a very delicate situation we have here. I want to aid as well.
All right, roll deception for aid. Everyone's in the lie.
That's a 28.
Woo!
Damn.
I'm so good at fake tears, y'all. I'm just like
Listen, you've had like what 2,000 years to perfect it. You're like golden.
how do you think I lied to my aunt for all those years?
Damn.
PJ, would this also count as part of one of Rufa's open investigations?
I'm gonna say if you're investigating Asimra, yeah, you get the +1.
All right. I got a 32.
Okay.
The reason Rufa was called a liar.
So yeah, she's very good at it. So all right, so Ichi, what was your deception check?
Mine was 18.
Okay. It's now a 25. With everyone coming together and lying, and you just see the captain just, oh, you cheated? Really? On her? With what?
It was
An actual goddess? I don't. What else would be the cheating?
right.
What would he? And he
It's
looks,
not
and
worth it.
when Roof was like, it's a very delicate situation. He's like, oh right, of course. No, I did not mean to be rude. It's just I don't know anything about elven justice. All I know, you got this bloke hiding in me boat, getting drunk or just whatever every day, locked away. I did no idea.
Medicine.
It makes a lot of
Some
sense now,
medicine.
doesn't it?
Right?
That he's getting drunk because it just makes a lot of sense. I would be too. You lose someone like that. I mean, look at her.
I mean, and the guilt must be weighing on him like just like a ton. I tell you what, hold on. He goes into the captain's quarters, comes back with like this really nice branding. He's like, I've been saving this for, I don't know, a new boat. I don't know, but you know what? Honestly, I think you should have this as just like a way to just, just to help the trip. Whatever you have left over, make sure you give it back to me. But it's yours.
That's so generous. And even though this does not hold but a candle to the fine elven wine that beautiful woman drank at her wedding, I'm sure it'll do something to numb the pain.
I hope I can. And again, my apologies. I had no idea that there was an infidelitous
I mean, it's
person
not
on
something
board.
you talk
What's-
about, is
No,
it?
of course not. No.
And it's not something we should really talk about
yes.
too much in front of her.
And
Right,
but also,
yeah.
also, we were just very glad that we made sure to get the prenup.
Right. I don't know what the prenup is, but that sounds good. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go back to my captain quarters. I'm gonna inform the crew. Mom's the hush, right? No one needs to know. And we'll be talking in about a week.
So do you have something like maybe like shuffleboard you can set up to kind of like boost the mood? Just like because we have all of this brandy, which was so kind of you, but like we could like party a little bit and maybe that'll keep her from entering a complete rage.
All right. I tell you what. We have a wee card game that we play to make the time pass by. Puts us on great spirits. You can have my deck of cards. And he pulls out a card deck and he kind of turns it over and he goes, "You see, basically, it's a game where you try to get rid of all your cards. You know, you have to make it match the color or match the number. But if you'd like to, you have to also have things you can skip the other person, or you can make them draw more cards. It's a
Okay.
great game.
Yeah.
And it makes us all feel
sounds great.
very at ease. So
And like balloons, I mean, you probably don't, but if you had balloons, it would help. It would probably help.
I think I
Yeah.
can go into the larder and
Don't
maybe find some
worry
sheep
about it.
stomach. No,
You know,
okay.
I think this is probably enough to keep her from falling into a rageful, depressive state and just wreaking havoc on this boat. So
Right.
thank
All
you.
right. Thank you
Aren't we
so
all
much.
in a rageful, depressive state?
We truly all are because of
We
such
don't talk
crimes
about
that have
that.
been committed. But yes. But here, and then she hands the brandy to Tobias. Take this and make sure Shionabis stays so very happy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more than happy. Shiana, everything's great.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great.
So the captain is about to leave for their quarters. They look at Shionabis and they look at you with like such sad eyes and they just go, "I am so sorry," and then they just go back to their cabin. Thankfully, they bought it, and a week of drinking brandy and playing this card game has gotten you through the week pretty well. You've finally docked somewhere actually in a dock to somewhere around Tizuku, because to go all the way around to get to Nubia would just take another 2.5 weeks. It'd take forever. They dock at Tizuku. If you'd like to, you can fast forward to Nubia, or you can do something while you're in Tizuku.
Shionabis and I need to have a conversation really fast.
Okay.
Shionabis, I'm pulling you aside from the group. We're getting off in Tizuku, but I'm pulling you aside from the group, and I'm like, Shionabis, you have to tell them that you're a fucking princess before we get to your home country.
I mean, like, do I have I don't think I have to though. Like, I'm technically, I don't know where I was going to go with this conversation, but
They're gonna know.
how are they gonna know?
They're gonna know.
I broke PJ.
No, my bad back pillow fell.
Aw.
I'm okay. I'll be good. So first of all, Sidney, when Alona says that, how much volume are they projecting with?
Oh. All right, that was like a loud whisper.
But you did say you took her like us away from us.
yeah,
Stage
so-
whisper.
I assume it's not within earshot of people. I don't want to out my friend as a princess in front of everyone without her consent. Though I did. Who did I reveal it to in accident? Was it Morel?
Morel.
It was Morel.
Morale.
Yeah.
Is Morel the only one that knows, or does Tobias know that you're a princess too? Tobias does not know you're.
I was not told that.
You do. Okay. Yeah. Shonibus, you have to tell them, because we're gonna walk into Nubia and they're gonna be like, princess, and you can't just be like, shim.
I mean, one, I think that'd be like a fun little surprise for everyone, right? Like that's, but like also I do have the power to just be like,
I know you have the
so
power to do that. I understand. But for an entire nation of people, when they see their princess arriving home, you don't think it's going to slip somehow?
how do you, okay, let me ask you this. How do you think that I should like tell someone this information, specifically someone like Tobias, who is going to chew my ass out so hard?
Well, that's a good point. I mean, well, didn't you say that you were going to give him a job so you could, you know,
I
be like,
did.
this is the job. Surprise. You get a big upgrade. And then for everybody else, be like, hey, listen, I'm a mature adult that makes questionable decisions, and I didn't tell you because I have the right to privacy. There you go.
Questionable decisions. I think I make great decisions. That's not the point. I just okay, fine. Maybe like before we get to the gates, I'll tell them.
Okay. All right. That's fine. No worries. No worries. You do what you do in your own time. I'm just letting you know that it might be a shock. Specifically maybe for Tobias, who got a job offer from you.
Yeah, and he just didn't take it. Like rude, right?
Well, he did not.
Asshole.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's do it. Let's go.
All right, and that is where we're going to take our 5-minute break for Edge of Legends. We're going to come back at 9:47 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we're going to carry off with the second half of this episode and hopefully get to, I guess, see all the Inquisitors of Anubis. Until then, see you in 5 minutes. Bye. See you in 5.
The name is
Secret
Aboopus
princess.
Snoopus.
A boopus snoopus.
Boopus Snoopus.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for waiting. We are coming back with the second half of Season 2, Episode 2. The heroes have just docked into the land of Tezuku on the triumvirate continent. That's a lot of NTs to say. And upon landing there, Alona took Shunibus aside to be like, hey, we should probably tell them that you're like a big deal. And I believe Shunibus said, we'll tell them when we get there. But a few other players wanted to do something really quickly in Tezuku, I believe. Michael, what did you want to do in Tezuku?
Rufa is going to find basically the biggest area where essentially a library of where text information would be held, and see if he could look up anything on the Green King.
I will say, just out of hand, you don't find anything in Tezuku about the Green King. You find a lot about demons and devils, but nothing about the Green King. And Tobias, do you have any business in Tezuku before we move ahead?
You think I had business in the first place? I know where I need to be, and it's not here and it's not there, but it's okay.
That's terrific. So it takes it like a long day's journey as you're cresting across the center of the continent. You all can't help but see to your left. It almost looks like this beautiful mirage of a orange sun bouncing off the sand and giving the sand itself this almost like red clay like quality to it. It looks so beautiful. And then as you look at it more, you start seeing this beautiful red clay start turning more and more crimson red until the clay texture goes to mud. And you start seeing small hands grip the top of the mud from within the sand, like they're trying to pull out, but they can't quite come all the way through the sand and then fall back into it. And as this tableau of these clawed hands keep trying to leave and break through the sand, you realize you are passing the red wastes, a patch of land, the looking glass into the nine hells in between Nubia and Tezuku. Skirting around it, you can see on the bottom of a sandy hill, this gorgeous open air brick structure of a massive town. Mighty buildings made of golden and sandstone buildings and walls high to repel enemies. A thoroughfare of people coming and going, but up the hill, you see what can best be described as a gold and chrome sort of a diamond structure floating in the sky. You see these floating orbs and other diamond-shaped pieces is floating in the sky with it, and these walkways that are constantly coming and going made of pure light. You're seeing elves walking around wearing chrome metal gear up to their neck and gold jewelry and these amazing headpieces that seem to actually be alive. This sort of fantasy Afrofuturism being alive and pumping and brimming with magic, the citadel of the Nubian elves, the immortal children of the gods of Nubia, and one of the last survivors of the Great Pruning.
Upon seeing this, Tobias will kind of tap his nose. I, in my station, I don't often, I need you all to know, feel outclassed. But, and I say this as devoutly and politely as I can, what the fuck? Legitimately.
Tobias, that would mean you'd have class to begin with.
Excuse me. I have climbed far enough to have class of my own. Thank you kindly. But it seems as though your tableau here has its own je ne sais quoi.
You know, it does, and it's something you'll just have to experience on her own. And she's gonna keep going. Are we on horseback? Are we on carriage?
You would be at this point, if you were on horseback, you'd be on camelback, as they can move much more reliably longer than a horse could. There is a caravan, or I'm sorry, a carriage that is also being pulled by two mighty, handsome, very debonair and very thick camels that seem to have a bit of a drooling problem.
Tobias will clearly, if he can, provided the situation, seat himself as close to, if not next to, Shionibus as he can. And just be like, well, I suppose you'll just have to show me around.
You know, if we have time.
Or do you have someone for that? It's fine. I'm used to it.
You know, as much as I would love to show you around, I think we might have bigger things going on, you know?
While we may have bigger things going on, no doubt we will have some downtime as our associates prepare.
And you really think I'm going to let you leave my side, given that you will probably harass anyone that you see?
Harass is such a crass word. I do not know
at a pretty face.
I do not know the notions of your culture. How dare you insinuate that I would deviate from your side of my own will, while this is clearly your domain?
All right. So, at the sight of a pretty face, you won't go running towards them?
Once more, this is your domain and your home, is it not?
I'm glad you see it that way. So that means that you will not be leaving my side, given that, you know, I can then show you the job you never accepted, if you so choose that you want to stay after returning you to the Platinum Hammer.
Would you like to talk more on the job? Is that what really has you stuck up?
Tobias.
Is that our point of contention? Is that what you'd like to work through right now?
It is you that sent me all those letters during those 6 months.
Oh, I'm well aware of the letters I had sent. Thank you.
So having you around is nice, and having a friend nearby is nice.
Oh, a friend.
And that is why.
Yes.
Are we not Yes, a friend.
Yeah, no, that's what I said.
She's
That's
gonna ride faster.
That's exactly what I said.
All right. So cutting in here, you are met with an opportunity of choice. As you cross the desert, you see a road to your left, heading, of course, to the front of the Elven Citadel. But towards the right, you see a small group of people covered with shawls, and their bodies seems to be kind of one with the sand. And they're just kind of they're hunkered down and they're looking down the road. You can't quite see their faces from all the heavy layers and the sand all over them. They are not blending in. They're basically kind of bunkered in for wind and sand and sunlight. And they've probably been there for a handful of hours.
Like one with the sand in like a fun beach way, and not one with the sand in like an eldritch horror way.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, definitely like surfing USA.
Okay, good.
Don't know.
Good. Okay.
Are there any NPCs that Alona would recognize at this point? Has anyone come out to greet the envoy that has the Princess of Nubia in it?
At this point, no. No one's come out yet. You have to get a little closer, and you've seen it before, once the bridge made out of pure magical light kind of connects to the ground, then the greeters would come.
Okay.
How far away are the sand people?
The people hiding in the sand, they're probably a good maybe 15, 20 feet to the right off the path.
Ichi will just say, "Hello, that looks fun." Sandy.
Are these sand people? Would I know if they're a threat?
Give me your choice of a perception check or a religion check.
Ooh, perception. We know I'm not religion.
While
A
you're
natural
doing
20.
why oh shit, never
A
mind. That's
critical 20. All right. So as you
But
look,
Tobias, go ahead.
yes, we're gonna say
Oh
Tobias.
no, I was just gonna check for a clarification with history and things I don't know in this world, as Tobias himself, as opposed to Tobias, this dumb fuckboy. So the job was offered that he would be potential for triage in this nation's court, to my understanding, and I assume that Tobias would not accept because he's of the Platinum Hammer and is a neutral party, regardless. But if it was a station, that's different than coming in and being like, "Oh yeah, I can help." Being a temporary assistant for triage is different than I will take rank within this nation's group.
Yeah, you would know from being a member of the Platinum Hammer for so long that, of course, you have to remain neutral. You would have to leave the Order of the Platinum Hammer to become the triage master of Nubia. Now, if you want to teach them triage,
Yeah,
you
so,
can do that, but you
so
can't
was,
take over that
I guess
position.
my question to both you and Kai would be, was that a job of station or a job of, hey, yo, do you want to be a consultant?
That's Kylie.
It was more of a open-ended, however he wanted to interpret it.
Oh, okay, that's way worse. Perfect, thank you. That's all I needed. Thank you for your time. I apologize for holding up the stream to get that clarification.
Quite all right. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Kylie, so with your natural 20, looking at these people with the heavy layers kind of blending in with the sand, you recognize, it's hard to see their full face, and you get the vibe they're doing that on purpose. On their forehead, you see not only this sort of like Ankh shape, but the symbol of Anubis as well, kind of like dotted and tattooed on their forehead. And it is easy to tell that these are acolytes of Anubis.
They'll do no harm. Keep moving.
Are you going to go right towards the acolytes of Anubis or left towards Nubia?
I feel like I should check. Let me ask you this. That letter that my auntie sent me, did it say when court was? Like how many days I'd have?
Oh, the one where she's basically trying to freeze you out of court.
Mhm.
She seems to kind of hold court passively, kind of every day, every other day. Whenever a problem comes up, she handles it. So, you've been missing court being gone, but of course, what you've been missing is her power gaming and helping her people.
I do want to rub it in her face that I'm back. We'll go left towards the acolytes. We'll deal with this first.
Towards the acolytes.
No, scratch it. No, we're going right. We're going home.
So you're going to Nubia, not where the acolytes are.
We're watching Shionibus like turn her camel like this way and
Boyfriend?
that way.
Boyfriend, aunt. Boyfriend, aunt.
All right. So you go to the left, and the beam of light bridge comes down. And what's funny is, as this beam of light seems paper thin, the minute it strikes the earth, it creates a mighty divot with great weight. And when you put your foot on it, what would seem to be just a gossamer curtain of light holds your weight without any challenge. And as you put your weight on and start walking up, you see the envoy, your uncle, and your aunt come out to the first platform base where the light comes down. And the envoy, the greeter, shall we say, says, "Recognizing for all of Nubia and the great sun in the sky and the moon to follow, we hereby recognize the princess, Shionibus of Nubia." And your uncle just kind of like claps, and your auntie has her hand folded and just kind of like gives like this kind of shit-eating grin. Hello.
Hi. I should have told you before.
Should I be clapping?
No.
Sorry.
It seems like I maybe missed a few days of court, even though I'm sure you've tried to keep me out.
Oh. Is that Shionibus? No. I just have a lot of responsibilities, and I want to make sure that you can still enjoy some free time until you're ready to take my position. Don't worry, we were able to handle everything just fine. We missed your lovely presence. Isn't that right, Uncle? And the uncle kind of looks at her and he goes, "I've been instructed by her to lie to you. This is my lie now. Yes, we have missed you greatly. Everything has been fine. And it's wonderful to see you."
Quite frankly, I do believe Shionibus was on far more important duties at the point of juncture. I'm sure that your political soirees were very important, but I believe that we have had higher priorities away from your good nation.
Higher priorities. Are you, as city planner of Nubia, I must know, are you planning a whole new nation? Please, if you do, let me know. I am great at downtown squares.
I'm
the
sorry,
dwarf
I
has a
didn't
hand
introduce
raised.
myself. He would ignore that hand raising
Yeah.
and barrel past it
Do it.
like an asshole. He's like, "I'm so sorry. I'm Tobias Raphaelis, House Raphaelis, Grand Hospitalier of the Platinum Hammer. I'm not sure if you've heard of us, but I need you to understand that our grave circumstances have led your good princess to higher demands, and her contributions to such things have proven not only amicable, but extremely valuable to the world at large. And we appreciate your nation's lending of one of your highest statured nobility to assist us in what we've been doing."
Really quickly, I'm going to say that there's a wagon with Awesome Rob in it where Rufa was spending the entire time. Rufa yells out, "Did the intern introduce us yet?"
Oh my god.
Tobias will seem unfazed and completely ignore that notion.
Give me a diplomacy check.
Oh, hell yeah.
So everyone knew that
No.
she's
No,
princess?
no,
You're a princess?
no.
Ichi's just literally
What's
yelling.
going on up there?
Ichi's yelling, like she makes eye contact individually with every single person in the party, and then Shionovis's family, and just yells, "Princess!" over and over again. And then she looks at Alona because she realizes, you knew. You don't look surprised at all.
I found out on accident, and I was sworn to secrecy.
On the back, you hear Rufa yelling out, "Who's a princess?"
Shionobis!
Tobias will turn around and, within the grace of the like formalities that have been put forth, will glare at everyone barking in a way that is just like, we are in not our home, and we will respect it without speaking, just a fucking glare. And it's not often you see Tobias glare. This is
Ichi
a
just,
matter
like,
of
freezes.
this is a matter of religious station, and religion or society or whatever, this culture. He will drop a death glare to both Ichi, and he looks at his spreadsheet of people that he's working with, and Rufa, and just half-lidded eye, like, shut the fuck up.
Ichi
But in a polite,
shrinks.
if you
back.
want an intimidation roll, I'll give it to you. It's
Oh,
not
no,
very good,
no.
but I'll give it to you if you need it.
I accept. Ichi shrinks back and grasps her comfort hammer.
Once the gaze leaves Ichi, Morel next to you just kind of leans down and he says, "If it makes you feel any better, I didn't know she was a princess until she found out I was a prince."
Ichi doesn't want to be loud again, so she's just she's internally
The
screaming.
glare has not stopped. He is adamantly staring at you and fucking Rufa, just eyes locked, like, we don't speak right now because this isn't our home.
My apologies. Morel kind of takes 2 steps back.
Morel also gets that glare.
Yeah, he looks at you with a glare back, but because he knows you're right, he nods, rolls his eyes, and then just kind of like takes a knee and just presents his neck and his 2 hands up as a sign of, like, I'm at your mercy, respect to you in this house.
I do need Rufa's reaction before I pull back.
You know what? I am gonna take that intimidation roll.
I am down.
I also want to point out that Rufa is all the way in the back in the caravan. That's why he was yelling.
That's fine. If you can see his glare with a natural 1 with an 11.
Oh, no.
I don't get to roll well this game. I have not rolled above a 5.
Hero
this game.
point. Hero point.
Yeah, you have 2 hero points. You start
I
off
don't
with
know
1
how
every
hero
game and you
points
earn
work.
1. Well, the cool thing is every time you use a hero point, you can use it to re-roll a roll.
Oh, I'll re-roll that shit.
Yeah.
That'll be a 28 intimidate.
Now, Michael, what is your bonus to will rolls?
I have a plus 22, plus 12.
Plus 12. That means he beats your will DC by at least 6 points. You're a little terrified. It's one of those things where you can't quite see the face, but the angry dad energy is definitely making you kind of stand up a little straighter.
I'm daddy.
It's my fault.
You
know,
can't
that's on
just
me.
say that on stream.
I absolutely can, number
Yeah,
1.
you can.
So, with everyone being quiet and you, oh, by the way, did you want to take that that diplomacy check of 17, or do you want to use your last hero point? To
I
roll it
would
again?
like to hero point that one again. Let
Okay.
me double check my. It's 12. Okay, cool. I'll give another roll. Why not? That'll be a 22.
So, the aunt seems, from what you can tell from the face, seems a little unfazed. Uncle just goes, "Yes! A holy crusade! Heroes saving the world in our burg, in our little sandlot. Yes!"
In your good nation, my friend.
Even better. And the uncle is 100% like just on your side. And he turns to the aunt and he goes, my queen, my sister, I think we need to heavily reconsider that this could be an opportunity for adventure.
And
Even stuck
quite
in the
frankly,
sandals.
a glorious opportunity to work alongside the Platinum Hammer as we move forward.
Do you not see? Give me one more diplomacy check towards the aunt. You're going to have a +2 as the uncle is just 100% behind this.
That'll be a 20 with a +2.
20. All right, so she goes, Princess Shonibus, issues of the Platinum Hammer are none of our business. But if you have business in this, first of all, it's great to see you. But if you have business back here, please let us know if you'd like to borrow any one of our guardians or priests or wizards. Let us know. We'd be very happy to let you borrow them for however long you're here for.
Wow, how generous of you to use, the people that I call family for assistance. That's very kind.
As your resources, he would offhandedly say, loud enough to be heard.
So the aunt kind of steps back on one foot. Okay, fine. Do you want me to come with you?
Yes.
He immediately turns and just glares. No.
Yes. The shit-eating grin is present. Yes.
She'll lean towards him. I will show you anything you want to see. But I need you on my side for this.
No. Hear me out. And he's not speaking super quietly. Hear me out. They think you lesser. They don't know what you experience. What if you gave them a taste? What about a bit of appreciation?
And if her and I both die, there's no one to rule.
I know who's getting out of there alive, and it's you're going to be fine.
How about a dinner?
How
Feast for my
about a
return.
dinner, a feast for her return?
So you say that, and your aunt kind of, a dinner it is. You'll all go to your private quarters, and we'll summon you then. It'll be wonderful. We'll get to look at the moon and just face out into the oasis. We'll send people to come for you, and welcome to Nubia.
Thank you for your good welcome.
Of course. Please follow the stairs anywhere you wish to go, and they will take you there. Just have faith where you step. The lights are a little different to some.
Alona's gonna storm to her room.
All right. So Alona storming to her room.
Wait.
Yeah.
Ichi will see Alona. Where are you going?
I stayed here for 6 months.
Everything I know is a lie.
Yeah, I know. And she runs away.
Could Rufa help with the transportation of Asamra to wherever they're gonna put him?
That's a very good question. Where are you going to put Asim Ra?
A spare bedroom, I would suppose.
In his room?
Or his room?
All right.
Also, I want to point out he puts down a book, and if anybody looks at the title, it says "Devil Possession and You: Lack of Boundaries and Hellish Relationships." That's the book he picked up in Tezuku.
So flash forward, it is now nighttime. You are at this really big table. I mean, it's massive. Sure enough, you're in the gorgeous oasis just outside of the Citadel. You have the moon, which is very bright, lights up the whole night. The breeze coming through is this gentle, cool breeze that hits perfectly with the sweet scent on the wind. There is food from all over the world, as well as a lot of really nice delicacies from the Nubian elves, and of course the Nubian elf wine. Asim Ra is there wearing a very lovely long white tunic with a high neck, and it's got the kind of gold and chrome plating coming down, no sleeves, but very long kind of ornamental arm guards that come around the fingers with little like faux armor, and kind of a nice, very baggy, handsome pair of gold pants. And he's even got like some makeup on his forehead to have like the sun of Ra appear. Morel is, of course, wearing the fanciest clothes he has, which you saw at the party. Is very nice, long, kind of orange top with beautiful embroidery and kind of a matching khaki pants. And
Wearing
Auntie, of
khaki
course,
pants?
not like khaki, no, khaki
Royalties?
colored.
Like
Khaki,
cargo shorts.
no, shut up, khaki
Yes, they
colored pants.
pockets.
Khaki
Wear
colored
Crocs?
pants. Not caramel, camel khaki colored pants. They're baggy. They're not, he's not sitting there wearing like khaki shorts with like sandals
Is
on
he
going,
putting
how about
shrimp
this weather?
cocktail in his cargo pockets?
Yes, he's got a pocket protector and he's trading Bitcoin. No,
They zip off at the
No.
knee.
oh God, no. He's got socks on with the sandals. No,
They're the
Sorry.
strap sandals.
just yeah. Oh God, I remember that time period. That was such an ugly time period. Anyway, so you're by this table. Of course, the auntie's wearing this beautiful long flowing gold dress with a train and her crown, and she's definitely kind of having this the seat of the table, the head of the table. She sits down as you're eating and enjoying the meal, and she does not provoke conversation. She's just sitting there smiling and eating food and just being very polite whenever someone asks her a question.
Shionam is gonna sit at the other end and just watch. Okay, you know the dress that Daenerys has, the blue one, and then it has like the gold corset belt.
Mhm.
That
It's like chiffon.
yes, that
Yes.
but like an off white. That's what Shionabis is wearing.
My question is anyone sitting next to Shionabis?
Awesome Raw would if Shinobu lets him.
Is he well?
He seems okay.
She's at the end of the table, correct?
Mhm.
That means there's another seat open.
So Asim Ra would be at her right and you'd be at her left. Is that the game you're playing, sir?
I'm gonna play the right if I can, but I'm not gonna take priority.
So the minute you get to the right chair, you hear and see Asim Ra say, "I'm going to humbly ask
I
you
take
to
left.
choose another seat." Thank you.
No, immediately. There, no question. I take left.
And he goes, "I thank you for your
He doesn't even make question of it. He
lightness."
doesn't even act as though that was the seat he was going to take.
So you have Asim Ra on your right, Tobias on your left, and your aunt at the very end of the table, just smiling at you.
I would like to look at the aunt and kind of get some form of insight as to her intents of the situation.
Give me a perception check.
Is that how that works here? I know there's a
Yep. So if you kind of want to like look at someone and get the intel on someone, if you will, kind of be insightful about them, perception check knocks it right out.
and you said it was level plus wisdom.
Level plus wisdom plus 2.
Thank you.
Also, PJ, to clarify, is so Awesome Ra is fine now. He's not grappling with possession. Like, what did the drugs knock him out, and all of a sudden he's okay?
From what you can tell, he seems balanced, steady.
Does
16.
Okay, 16. 1 second. Was that Alona?
Does he remember what happened in Agrippa Pano Bear, and does he know why we're here?
If you were to ask him that, he would kind of give a very heavy sigh. And he says, "I remember everything, and then I remember grappling with something, having like a fever, trying to fight off this nightmare. and then we got on the boat, and I was drugged a lot to get here. I understood everything that was going on. I was definitely aware, and I consented to that. And we got here, and then somehow stepping on the sand, I feel balanced again.
Did Shionibus tell the rest of the party what Anubis said to her? I assume so.
Yeah, she would have told everyone. Probably on
Oh.
like the 3-week journey here.
Got it. Because he did say as soon as he's on the sands, I forgot about that part. Okay, cool. Well, Alona's gonna be sitting next to Asamra. Anyway, Tobias rolled a thing. I just wanted to just double check.
No. I'm glad I could clear that for you. So, 16. Okay, you get the feeling that the aunt really does care about Shionibus, but right now she's having this dinner kind of out of being polite and kind to her princess. But the minute this is over, she's probably gonna give you all the scoots.
I'd like to offer kind of a diplomacy as I kind of lean over. And I'm gonna shoot that roll now, and we'll see if it's shite. Oh, that's okay. It's 25. I'm gonna lean over and just be like, "Thank you so much for having us present within your domain. I understand that our prompt arrival might have been slightly unannounced, but your fanfare and gratitude towards having what is rightfully yours returned in some way, shape, or form has been certainly appreciated, as is your hospitality."
Thank you. You are so very polite. Remind me the number again. I think you said 17.
25.
25. Thank you. So much better. So she looks at me and she goes, "Thank you. You are so polite." She kind of leans forward, and at this point, you start getting this fragrant smell of her perfume and the oils, and it has this kind of like nice rich vanilla scent as she kind of like gently just kind of brushes a finger, just kind of like a finger across her cheek, and she goes, "Thank you. You are so polite." And I understand. I know these times are rough. I don't know what brought you back. It's always a pleasure to see Shionibus's face.
The fact of the matter is
Mhm.
that I am very appreciative of Shinobus's existence amongst our group, and that you have relinquished her to assist the greater world, especially amongst someone such as myself amongst the Platinum Hammer, has been a great help to the world on the whole, as opposed to your nation itself. And we believe that, as we of the Platinum Hammer believe that to be something duty above all else, the fact that a nation such as yourselves would be willing to offer such a phenomenal individual into our graces to assist in the greater good is something that is is unique in and of itself, and it is something we value.
She raises a hand and she laughs. And she says, "You are very handsome, and you are very good with words. If you need something from me, I would just love to hear you ask for it."
I don't yet.
Well then, until then.
But perhaps what I could ask that I might need from you is to be a little more genuinely polite to the princess.
Oh,
And maybe, perhaps, we treat our family like family.
I'm
Because
gonna
they
kick him
became.
under the table.
I take it. I take it. I take it.
Take
There's
it?
relent.
Awesome.
Cool.
He takes it and keeps talking.
Okay.
And perhaps that maybe her own very good family will value her as much as the Platinum Hammer might in the future.
She leans forward and she says, "Now, I don't know how much you know."
He would lean forward in a very exaggerated manner as to call the bullshit of her leaning forward.
She meets you, and then she just kind of winks, and then again a little cheek touch with her fingernail, and she says, "Now, I
He's
don't know
clearly unfazed.
how much you know about elven life. I can assume that you're not an elf, that you wouldn't know.
Yeah, no,
But
absolutely not.
you see, we don't produce. We're born from a tree. That's the only way that our numbers grew. And then one day, a couple thousand years ago, all the worlds got together and decided that our trees were killing the planet. And then they killed the trees. And they sentenced us to death.
And yet here
2,000
you
years
stand,
ago.
2,000 years later.
So when I tell my princess that I'm doing what I can, it is because her time will come when I'm dead.
All of our times will come.
Mm,
That is of all of our deities, holy right.
mm. I don't think you grasp it. You see, we live forever until we're killed.
Yes, but what does death mean to you and yours?
Okay. You're a cute one. But
I
this
know.
conversation is done. In the meantime, please tell Shonibus I do absolutely care and value her. And one
Barnabas, she
day,
absolutely cares and values you. And one day, sorry, keep going.
She can say it herself to me.
No, it's
Thank
okay.
you.
I'm playing intermediary apparently. Continue.
the ant will pick up her glass and stand up and raise the glass high. And she says, apparently I have to make this announcement to my princess. Shionibus, I apologize that I have not been very open with court. I know that it is experience and not education that makes one a wise leader. But being in my position, not that it is hard, it is what it is. But I have to have this position until I die. And then you'll take over that position. And it's not that I don't want to relinquish that. I was there when you were born from the tree. I was there when you were an infant, walking on your first days as a grown woman. I was there when you fell in love with someone that our court probably should not have been aware of. I was there when you made promises under the sun, and I was there when his body was not recovered from the red wastes. I was there when you left us for over 200 years. And I was there when, after doing that, you saved the whole world. And in that entire time, I've been the queen. And I know that you will be when I'm dead. I know that I've been very difficult. It is because, and I'm not ashamed to admit this, Shonibus, I'm terrified. And I have not been treating you with the respect you deserve. I have been pushing you away. And that is my fault. And since your very cute lapdog won't stop slobbering onto my lap, then I will have to make this announcement.
I mean, that's all I care about. But I'd like to note that you making these statements has already far achieved what I needed. And he will lean back in his chair with that whatever drink he's been given and act like his job is done.
And then she wraps up by saying, Shionibus, when my body is wrapped in silks and gauze and put down the river, and I'm gone to meet Anubis and maybe transcend to meet Isis, I will be very happy looking down upon you. It has been my greatest failure that I have not been more loving. Kind and patient, arguable, but loving, undebatable. I have not been lovable towards you, loving towards you. So upon my death, decree of the queen, upon my death, and Shionibus is to be the queen of Nubia. And until then, I will be stepping down and I will be a remote advisor to her. Wherever she is, she has authority of queen, but we will be exchanging letters. I will ask her for her advice and I will put to pen and paper whatever she says, but I will still be sitting on the throne until such time that I am dead. You will be queen globally. I guess I'll be queen locally.
I have to intervene for that. I do not think that this is necessarily the time to do that, given I have certain business I need to take care of first.
Mm-hmm. Well, my princess, then what would you have me do? What can I do in this situation?
I wanted involvement since I've been home yet you have neglected to do so. You have held court several times without me, even though I have asked specifically and have snuck in repeatedly to these situations like this. I simply want an explanation of why you're so terrified. But as I said, I have business here. Deadly business, perhaps, but business nonetheless. So,
What would your business be? I apologize. We rushed to such fancy feasts and ordinances too quickly. What is your business here?
I have business in the Red Waste. Business that does not concern you.
Okay.
Unless it is that you want to join, as Tobias had mentioned.
I would
previously.
also like to note that, if I may I?
Please.
Sure. I would also like to note that their involvement does not necessarily dictate how this conversation goes. We have one task. We have things to do. If they do not wish to join us, that is not necessarily on them. It would be polite and potentially advantageous to have more assistance. But this is a society, it is a government. It does have to be ran. It does need a leader. And if you are off, I do not see the problem with the current leadership. But on that notion, it seems as though he glares daggers at the aunt. It does seem as though we finally came to some sort of accord that was not previously dealt with. And I think that was the most important part of this lovely dinner.
I noticed Michael's hand was raised a few times. Michael, do you have something to add to this?
Yeah. I just wanted, like, during this whole exchange and everything, I was wondering if I could roll a perception on Awesome Raw, just to see any reactions, a facial tick, like how he's feeling. Also, especially if like he's gonna go
Sure, go ahead, make a quick perception check. Send that to me in a private message as the aunt kind of nods and saying, yeah, you know, and I'll be the first to admit that I was wrong. I was scared. And I'm sorry. So when I will help you with the red wastes, I will give you constant updates, and I will stop trying to push you out of court, passive aggressively or otherwise. My princess, I'm very sorry about that.
Now, is that so hard?
Tobias just shrugged and like if he had any dining utensils in his hand, he'd drop it on the table. He'd kind of glare briefly at Trionibus, but also look back to the aunt and go, thank you for acknowledging that, because that was the hardest thing you could have done tonight.
Don't worry, but thank you.
It's an
Very glad for your
acknowledgement
time.
and a thank you. Just
So
take
this-
it. Just take it.
So this whole time, most of this time, Ichi was stuffing her face because there's so much food here that she's never seen before in her entire life. And then when Shionibus's aunt starts making the speech, she's got like her mouth full and mentions Shionibus becoming queen, right? Some of the food just kind of like, and she leans over to Ilona. Ilona, if Shionibus becomes queen, do you think she'll stop hanging out with us?
I don't know, Ichi. I don't know.
So Rufa, you've been looking at Awesome Raw. You don't see any You don't see anything. You do see him like in the middle of like a nice little bread soup situation, kind of like just ducking this whole awkward family situation. He's like, oof, not my family. Nope. We do not speak up when the family is having a fight. So we're just gonna keep our head down. And aside from that awkwardness, the aunt does have a genuine apology and says she wants to get you involved. And she's sorry for frizzing you out. She was scared and she overreacted. She says, so by the morning rise, I imagine you'll have to leave to your deadly business. And I'm genuinely asking, is there anything I can do to help? Presence or otherwise? What can I do to help?
She's gonna look at her friends.
Did you say presents?
My physical being. But if you want a present, we have many gift givers. I'm sure they'd love to give you something nice.
I don't know how royalty works, so it seemed like it didn't make sense that you would give presents to us anyway. I don't know why I said it. Never mind.
If Rufa may humbly request, possibly for the brief time we are here, access to your libraries, your texts, your books.
We will grant you everything except our history, our personal timeline. We'll give you mythologies, science, everything else. But we won't grant you our histories. That's a personal record of our own living and dead. And no offense, those are one of our most holy books, as they keep what little evidence of our lives there that we're allowed to have.
Of course. And
Thank you.
if also perhaps if Rufa could also gain some information, just talk to some of your scholars if possible.
You could have a sit and meet for brunch, I suppose. I don't know what you hope to glean from them, but yes, absolutely.
Rufa thanks you. Yes. As Rufa has always said, that knowledge could be sharper than the sharpest of blades.
Of course. Well, in the meantime, I think I'm going to retire early. Have a great night. And with that, dinner and discourse kind of continues, and the morning rises. Michael, really quickly, what's the one thing you want to kind of glean from this think tank and these books? Or anything specifically you want to know?
Obviously, I really want to do the Green King, but if I only have to choose one, let's go with the mission at hand. Possession, and especially any text regarding Ravan.
So the information you're going to glean from the books and the think tank with the scholars is that Ravan has been in Nubia for a long time, and he has been going toe to toe with Set, as Set has been revered as the king of the Red Wastes. That is his kingdom, and they've been fighting over the Red Wastes since the Looking Glass era, which is a time period where kind of rifts between here and hell opened up directly. And you kind of understand those hands coming out of the desert and struggling to break free are demons that are constantly trying to break into our world from the Looking Glass. So Ravan really wants to to continue his presence. Set has been kicking his ass for like 1,000 couple of years. As far as possession goes, a lot of elves don't tend to get possessed. Humans do frequently. The elves, though, don't tend to, and that and their martial skill and iron will have made them very good demon slayers. However, it's only a matter of time. Eventually, demon slayers are killed. So that's basically kind of like the information that you're getting.
You said that they rarely, but it has happened.
A few times, but usually it's been written about in great mythology as like he was, they were tricked. They drank the wrong potion. And no one can really say whether or not it was actual possession or like an excuse thousands of years of history later to go, they did this horrible thing because they were possessed. That kind of historical backpedal.
In those instances, Rufa's going to look into how if those people actually were able to get rid of the position, if they had, or have they all fallen prone to such possessions in the end?
Fact that the possessions kind of end as an excuse kind of gives you the feeling that it was never fully removed. It's kind of like how Nero and Caligula probably were a little awful, but all the stories about them being awful really ramped up after their death. So there's a lot of this stuff like, well, yeah, all these talks about possession ramped up after they died. And so a lot of the history keepers are like, yeah, we're a little skeptical about whether or not they were actually possessed.
Okay. And also one thing,
Mhm.
Rufus going to also study all of Ravon's defeats and failures. Specifically, those.
Sure. I mean, it's really hard to say specifically. Every time there's like, a day where the demon hunters or demon slayers come back, you can kind of call that a defeat. If you want more information on the broader mythological standpoint, Alona and Tobias and Morel will probably be the better go-to.
Okay.
They're more about the knowledge of the thousands of years of Nubian history and how that's, been kind of in capitulation between the gods and the devils and their own existence.
I mainly want to do this mainly for the fact that I'm going to use this as fuel for whenever if Rufa ever uses his bombant against Ravon.
Okay. But that's kind of the information you get. That being said, it is the morning.
Is the aunt leaving at this point?
Dinner's gone. It's morning time now.
As the aunt is on her way out, I would
Yeah.
certainly like to tip a hat and say thank you.
Sure. She gives you like a soft wink and a smile, and she says, "Thank you," as she leaves. So it's the morning. Rufus come back from his brunch. It's a lovely brunch. Facing the morning sun, some nice orange mimosas, some great little soft pastries, a lot of lore. Mimos.
Brunch? Who's having brunch?
Does Ichi want to join for brunch?
Was Ichi invited?
Rufa knowing Ichi likes brunch would have her there.
Good.
And
Okay.
would
thank
say,
you.
would basically goes, this is Rufa's business associate and honestly bodyguard. She guards Rufa's body sometimes.
Yeah, you're having mimosas and wonderful pastries and some nice little breakfast selections while they're talking about all this Ravon stuff. Obviously, you're now privy to all this information as well. Is there anything you want to prepare before you leave with Awesome Raw?
Gonna just pocket a few extra pastries.
I was wondering at the tail end of that conversation, Rufus just gonna ask the scholars, have you heard of what was that for?
Oh, the four pastries for Sam. So sorry.
Oh, thank you.
Rufus is gonna go, have you ever heard of any mention of the name the Green King?
The Greenkin?
King.
No, no Green King.
Same thing.
All right.
No Green King, unfortunately, no.
Okay. Rufus, thanks you.
So with that, the morning comes. As you leave the Citadel, you see the same acolytes of Anubis covered in their heavy fabric, now much deeper in the sand, almost up to their waist, wrapping their shelves around, and they're just staring daggers at you.
I'll lead the way.
Tobias will give a very prominent just thumbs up. Just like good on you. Good job. You're doing it, honey.
Alona whispers to Shionibus, were they waiting here the entire time?
Probably.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you walk up to them, Shionibus?
Yeah.
Camels up to them.
So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you kind of camel rock up. So they all kind of turn and look, and you hear this voice. All you can see is eyes and the symbol of Anubis and the Ankh, and they say, "Are you the daughter of Anubis and the sands and wind?"
Tobias will
She'll take
very
it.
clearly not say anything, but he wants to say like 5 different things. It's very clear he wants to say something stupid, and he is actively suppressing it.
Morel's just looking to Alona, just going, "Give me the word. I can just put him in a headlock. He'll go unconscious in a few minutes. I can just."
I'm not talking to you right now.
What? Why? Did I do something wrong?
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna take
Um,
out my medallion. Yes, I am.
Okay, so you say yes, you are, and they go, "All right, fellow acolytes, time has finally come." The heavy gauze shawls finally get thrown off from all of them. Sand kicks up into the air, and standing in front of you, you see 7 jackal men with the kind of bent inward leg and the high dewclaw feet, and they're looking at you with bright gold eyes and a gold sandy fur pelt and long jackal ears. They are adorned by bone jewelry and golden jewelry, all dripping with the essence and iconography of Anubis, and they are strapped with weapons. One of them offers out a hand. One of them with a giant bow on his back offers out a hand, and you can see his hand is missing a pinky finger. I'm sorry, a ring finger. Missing a ring finger, and he lifts out a hand and he says, "Follow me." And he starts tracking through the desert. It's easily been hours. And then eventually they turn, they draw weapons, but they don't seem to attack you. They seem to be on guard. The one with the bow takes the bow off and just starts pounding the end into the desert. And then eventually, with a whir and rumble, the sand parts and a dark, cavernous abyss lies in front of you. And the one with the bow turns and says, "Please, right this way. Anubis, the judge of life and death, awaits you."
Only if the scales are there.
Rufa's gonna lean over to Itchy and just kind of just whisper, just so she could hear. That's quite a bit of theatrics indeed.
Sand. It's grainy. It gets everywhere.
Suddenly, Arrow ducked, points at Rufa. "Do you wish to mock us one more time? We will fight, we will die, and we will kill for the god of death."
And Tobias will throw up his hand and immediately go, "We've already died for this cause, and it's not worth it. It's not worth threatening people here. Drop your bow."
Also, Rufa loves theatrics, so it wasn't a diss. It was a compliment. We own a theater.
Dude, we have theater people.
They have an excuse. That's very sweet. But regardless, it was unnecessary. But thank you. Your culture is valid.
Thank you. Theater owners. That explains everything.
It always does.
So they gesture down to the stairs that lead deep under the sands of Nubia, and you travel down them. It is impossible to tell time, as it is nothing but darkness in front of you and the fading light of day behind you. Deeper down you go in. You can start to feel this moisture in the air, this kind of hot, damp moisture clinging to your skin, and the smell of water that has been sitting still for eons. As you move through, your feet finally find purchase. Though all is shadow, you feel this stone flooring. And then a candle lights off in the corner. A candle on a very long bone pedestal. And you hear a voice. "Daughter, bring him to me."
Tobias's head will snap if we all hear that. Do we all hear that?
Everyone hears that.
Tobias's head snaps immediately.
DJ, can I get some clarification? We're underground, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
Tobias's head snaps immediately to Shanabus.
It's time.
4. He draws a sword and prepares his shield. 4.
Judgment.
That does not comfort me. Thank you.
It's not for you.
That's not for us.
It's for him. And she's gonna hold out her hand to Asamra.
Samra takes it with the same love-long look in his eyes that he gave you thousands of years ago, the first time you held hands. There's no fear or sorrow, just love as he takes your hand, loves it in his palm, kisses it. "Okay, let's go."
Can I do a quick insight check to make sure it's actually Anubis talking to me?
Right, give me a perception check or religion check, your choice.
Also, PJ, can you give me like some quick dimensions of the room?
It's impossible to tell, really. It's dark. And again, stepping upon the stone was a surprise. You can't make heads or tails of the dimensions.
Okay.
A 17.
17. Looking around the corner, looking at the candle, you see the golden eyes in the long, dark snout of Anubis hanging over the candle lit in his chamber room. Bring the boy to me.
She's
Is that just to her?
That's to her.
Okay, never mind. Thank you.
Bring the boy to me.
as she's walking out loud, she's gonna say, "Is there a chance of redemption?"
There are many opportunities, but first must come judgment.
She'll walk him there.
So you walk with Asimra up. You see, now that you're closer to the candle, you see the full body and might of Anubis. He is both your height of 6'1", and yet there are times you look and he is 12 feet tall.
Do we all see this?
She does. She's closest to
Do
him.
we all see this?
She does. She's closest to him, not you.
Okay.
So as you look, as the flame flickers in his face, it constantly shifts from his eyes looking down on you to looking directly at you. And you hear this noise, this kind of Anubis just kind of slaps his hip. Sobek, get back. And you see this as this alligator with fur starts moving back. Come here. And he motions to Asimra. Asimra walks up. He looks to you with a smile, that undefeatable smile. And he just says, "Let's see on the other side. Danger." And Anubis takes a long, gnarled jackal claw, sticks it into his chest, and then pulls forth a heart still beating. He turns back behind him. Suddenly coming into view, you see a massive bronze scale with 2 plates. He takes a feather out of his pocket and places it into one and waits for the scale to balance with the feather. And he takes the heart, places it on the left scale. He reaches for a staff coming close to his face. It is edged with 2 weapons on either side. This is an execution weapon. And he holds on to it like you would a walking stick. And he watches the scale as it starts to and as it starts to settle, you see Anubis stare at it. His eyes go wide. Acolytes, lock my chambers. Now. It's suddenly what little life you see behind you, little light behind you, closes, and in pitch blackness you stand. Anubis reaches, pulls the heart off the scale. There are 2 souls here. I can't judge 2 souls with 1 feather.
Then take another.
This is not your trial, boy.
And it's not mine.
No, this is now the trial of the soul. And he puts it back in the dish of one Asim. As you are now torn between Asim Ra and Asim Ravan. He turns to Shinobis, and he says, I am sorry. It turns out my job was not to weigh his heart, to judge his soul. Suddenly, two lights blare from the sky above you. You see two tables and a chair as Asim Ra is now surrounded in a golden gilded dais. And Asim Ra just kind of looks confused as Anubis sits down by his throne with his giant executioner's weapon and the scale behind him. And he says, "Heroes of the world, your friend Asim Ra is considered property of both Ra and Ravan, and as such, I cannot weigh any judgment on his soul. But what I can do is weigh judgment on who owns his soul. Is he the property of Ra? Is he the property of Ravan? I suggest you find an attorney. He will need representation in this court case for his very soul.
I suggest you find a better feather.
I suggest you start learning law, mortal boy, because Ravan is sending a devil to come in trial for Asim Ra's soul."
People like me kill devils.
You have 1 hour.
I have one blade.
You're cute. And that is where we're going to end episode 2 of season 2 of Edge of Legend, with the trial of Asim Ra for
I
his
can't
immortal
believe
soul.
we got into full ass Law and Order.
Yeah, doom doom.
Don't
So come back next week where we are going to have the official trial of Asim Ra's soul. Does he belong to Ra? Does he belong to Ravan?
Do
Where
we
does his soul
debate if
go?
Tobias is going to throw his sword in the middle of the trial? Who knows?
I swear, I will fight you myself.
That's valid, and I appreciate that. I hope I didn't walk too much on your toesies.
Oh, don't worry. She'll step on your toes pretty hard when she's
so.
had enough.
I mean that good. I don't look. This was my first.
The little elven stomp.
I'm sorry. This was my first time.
Well, I hope they know a number to a good attorney.
Well, I hope you all can figure out a good attorney. Also, you could be the attorney. I don't know. We'll see what happens next week on Edge of Legends Season 2, Episode 3, The Trial for Asim Ra's Soul. That being said, let's say our goodnights and goodbyes, starting with Mr. Michael Powell. Mr. Michael Powell, who are you, and where can they find you on that sweet, sweet internet?
Well, as always, I am the dastardly dashing Michael Powell, and you can find me all over the internet on my social medias, which is usually at Mr. Kapow, that's MRKAPAO, or my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Michael Powell Does Stuff, because I do a lot of stuff like my YouTube channel, Fantastic Tales of Adventure, and tomorrow at 6 p.m., I will be on Toyzilla Live, where I host a show where we talk about toys and collectibles on Toyzilla Network at 6 p.m. And then I believe, I think this Friday, I'm on the Johananon channel, where we're going to be playing Mighty Max, the TTRPG, basically, using modern age rules.
I mostly just want to say Johananon because it's fun to say.
It is.
It reminds me of like Manamana.
Yeah, I feel it.
Oh, that being said, let's go to our next person, Sidney. Please, Sidney, tell us who you are and where we can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
Hello, my name is Sidney Rubino. You can find me all over the internet at Sidney Rubino. It's just my name, makes it very easy. So I have a lot of stuff going on now. But so this is what happened. I had the first episode of a brand new stream air on Saturday, and we're going to be streaming every Saturday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Exquisite Corpse Presents Twitch, which is a brand new channel. Super cool show. Homebrew World, D&D 5e. It's like post-nuclear punk South. It's really freaking cool. But we had our first episode and Twitch didn't save the VOD. So we're having another stream tomorrow night where we're basically going to recap what happened in that first episode and kind of do like character interviews where we kind of interview them and what happened, because it was a lot. And then we of course have our second episode this Saturday. But yeah, I'm a part of a new show, and if you want to see that, like, It's really cool. So yeah, it's a thing. Come see me there. Yeah.
Heck yeah! Yeah, I actually saw it. The episode 0 the other day, but I was at a party trying to be like supportive of my phone, like and I'm like, oh no, I'll have to watch the episode 0. And then Sunday I went to my computer and saw that, and I was like, oh. I'll have to tune into that thing on Thursday. Next up, Sam. Sam, please tell us who you are and where we can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
Well, hello, I'm Sam. You can find me all over the interwebs at Hey Sam Sterling. I post my Wordle on Twitter every day. But other than that, we'll see what's coming up next. You know, start of a new year, we'll see what happens. But love you all. Thanks for watching.
Awesome. Next up, Kylie. Please, Kylie, tell us who you are and where we can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
Hello, I'm Kylie, or I go by Kai. It really doesn't matter at this point. You can find me at Kai's Wonderful Life all over the internet, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that good stuff. When I'm not here on Friday nights at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, I play with Chromatic Dice here on Twitch. We are doing our season finale this Friday. Please check in to see it. It's a lot of drama. I'm really excited to watch it again. It's top tier. Also, you can win free dice, so come hang out and chat.
Free dice are dope.
Also, right. Top tier. I love our dice. They're amazing. On Sundays, I also play in a D&D campaign called The Wayward Path, where we're a bunch of villains trying to turn good. Maybe? It's kind of debatable. But it's a super fun campaign. That's Sundays, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Come check it out. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Well, last and certainly not least, our guest Tobias, who played Tobias Raphaelis. Please tell us who you are and where we can find you in that sweet, sweet everyone.
Howdy, partner. Hello, I'm Tobias McCurry of Spring-Heeled Studios, a prop fabrication and event production company. I'm gonna drop that link. Just did it. Yeah, I do a bunch of dumb shit, and I'm just happy to be here. If you want to find me on social medias, it's literally at Tobias McCurry on pretty much everything.
Yeah, well, we're absolutely happy to have you. I know we were talking about a long time about getting you here, and I know Michael's been like, have Tobias play Tobias. So I was like, I mean, hell, and not
is this Michael's
fault?
it. Whose fault is it?
I think it's all of our fault.
It's a group fault. I think we all were kind of like making jokes about it for a while. Now it's too good.
The same character that I am in real life, where
you killed it.
What hey Tobias, what if you played Tobias the man whore that DJ wrote? He didn't write it about you, but maybe like could be cool. And then I just showed up and I'm like, oh, I guess this is just all of me and my mental trauma.
You know what we call that? We call that synchronicity.
No, we call that typecasting.
I just want to know, did Tobias, PJ, did you meet Tobias first, or did Tobias' character come to your brain first?
He made the NPC first.
Yeah, I made the NPC up for a D&D 4th edition game back in like 2008, give or take. And so, yeah, when it came time to do this Edge of Legend, I'm like, you know, I'm gonna love reintroducing this character. And then, you know, and then art imitates life a decade apart sometimes. So there you go.
I just really loved that PJ had a meeting with me where he told me all about Tobias, and it's like, oh, it's just me with more religion trauma.
It's one of those things where you have that, like, I mean, it's not. Oh shit. But last but not least, we can wrap this up, and I can't wait to see you guys next week. My name is PJ Megaw. You can find me all over the internet at pj.megaw. When I'm not here with these absolute legends on Wednesday, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., you can find me here again starting January 31st for a brand new weekly show called Wayward Arcadium. It is set in the world of Galarion. It is 100% a Pathfinder 2e game of 5 adventurers going through college, or the Arcana Miriam specifically, and what weird things happen when you're in college, the family issues that got us there along the way, and the grand conspiracies that must be solved at night. So please come in. We're doing this with Goblins and Gates. It's going to be a great LBGT show. We'll see you Monday nights, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. here as well for Wayward Arcadium. And I believe tomorrow night, starting at, I want to say 7 o'clock, I'm also doing a D&D 5e show with the Blue Collar DM, playing playing my Paladin of the Livergart. And until then, looked for the Merry Wives of Woodward, officially happening January 29th, starting at 4 p.m. It'll be about a 4-hour game, so about 4 to 8, I believe, is when we're going to be doing that bad boy. So, if anything changes, I'll let you know. But until then, it's the same Nat time, same Nat channel here for Edge of Legend. Love you all. Be safe.
I'll add your legend.
Edge Don't. I'm going to raid now.
We
I
asked
can't.
for this.
Is it,
We asked for this.
the raid name?
I approve.
We are raiding the Venture Maidens.
So what are we saying now?
They're on their episode finale of Icewind Dale, Rhyme of the Frost
Yeah,
Maiden.
so what are we gonna say when we rate them?
That's a good question. We need a battle cry when we go raid them.
It can't be big
Religious
booty bitches.
trauma.
Religious trauma.
Oh no! Well,
no.
no, don't,
How about
don't do
Boop the
that,
Snoot? How about
because-
Boop the Snoot?
Shorter.
Yeah, I would hate
the
it if
Snoot.
we actually did have religious trauma. we just like name dropping it.
Stupid amount of now I got this. So any stupid way you could write a boopus snoopus, that's it. Like any way you want. Like I don't care if it's ABBP SNNP. Like I don't
Love
care
it.
how it goes. Just the
Boopus
idea.
snoopus.
I need the dream of a boopus snoopus in this raid. Are y'all ready?
Let's do it. A boopus snoopus. I
however
trust
you
you.
want. However you want.
All right, so you got it. You got the energy. You're gonna be raiding in 3, 2, 1.